Hooray! It's me. Oh, hang on. It's going to be quiet and get moaned at. I know I'm going to get moaned at. It's going to happen. Gonna go here. Levels. Oh, it's through the roof already. That should be okay. Hopefully that sounds okay. We shall find out together. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. Hey, Blissful Badger. Tiny chaps! Spaceship! So exciting. So much hype. Hello. Really? You're doing the first thing. That's your opening gambit on Twitch, is it? Is that Twitch? Or is that... Yep, that's Twitch, isn't it? Goodness me, man. How are we all? How are we? How is everybody? Are you all well? I sincerely hope so. Hope you're having a lovely week and all that jazz. I've just got to keep posting this to half the world and its dog. Get rid of that. Yeah, get rid of that. Oh, no, need to keep that. That's for you guys later. Oh my goodness. Such excitement. Aloha. I hope you're painting, young man. I hope you are brush in hand. I cannot believe you have time to type when you have so much painting to do. I see you, XS. Chop chop. Captain Castle, evening. A new person. Thank you for joining. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Very much appreciate that. Very kind. Good to see you over on the Discord as well. Hello, hello. My goodness. Oh, Dorina, glad you're well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you doing here? I was doing great, and now there's an emergency at work. What? I'm sorry, I refuse to believe for 1 second that anything could be more important than painting stuff. It's clear blasphemy. I'm not going to say heresy because we're not going there. But you know what I mean. How are we all? Are we all having a good week? I'm painting new stuff. It's so exciting. So exciting. I was like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out my paint scheme. Because I'm revisiting a paint scheme from when I first got into Dropfleet Commander. Love me some Dropfleet. And I'm going to redo the scheme that I had originally for that. Oh, I'm doing Dropfleet. I'm doing the Dropfleet. I'm doing tiny spaceships. Look. Oh, that was not the thing I wanted to put down there. Hang on. Look. Shiny book. Look at this. It's so pretty and shiny. Look, it's got like the laser foil thing on it. The laser effects is so cool. Anyway, so we're doing that, Mike. How are you? One man, indeed. One man and indeed his dog Spot, entirely. So, yeah, I was gonna like get my paint scheme sorted out and then like ta-da on stream, and then work on it from there. But I've decided to have my emotional breakdown of sorting out a colour scheme live because I hate myself. That's clearly the reason why. So what are we going to work on tonight? This is going to make it sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't. We're either going to work on... So I want to work on something big. Well, medium. We're going to work on a cruiser of some description. So guys, you can help me decide which one. I think that's only fair. So this little bundle of joy and happiness is a UCM. Come on. There we go. This is a UCM Edmonton. So this is a heavy carrier. So this has fighters and bombers, so you have the hangars on the side up here, you see, with little spaceships come out. But it's also got the big guns on the back, you see, which appeals to me. And it's got, I think that's a big gun. Is that a big gun under there? No, just these ones on the back. So we have the Edmonton. Then who do we have? We do the San Fran. So this is the San Francisco. So again, big guns. This is a UCM thing. And you can see the detail. It's why I love this system. You've got just enough detail on these to be really, really cool. But this, if you're not familiar with Dropfleet, it's all about controlling territory by dropping troops onto space stations, or it's an orbital game, effectively. So this is actually a troop ship. It's a bulk lander. So you have lots of infantry in there that you deploy on your target locations. So that we have the San Fran, or the Edmonton. Or we have itself. This is a Bruges. Big guns. And does this have a big gun? Is this? No, it's just so it's got like just big guns everywhere on it. Basically, that's what the Bruges is. So do we want the Bruges? Do we want the San Fran, or do we want the Edmonton? You can decide. It's entirely up to you. Lovely people. I suddenly played Drop Zone. Looking forward to the edition, but haven't dabbled with the tiny spaceship side yet. I came from Drop Zone. So I used to be a Hawk Talon when Drop Zone first was a thing, and then when Dropfleet came out. So yeah, very much loving that. I'm also using those wings at the moment, kit bashing some resistance ships. Nice. I want some spare San Fran. Goodness. Part 14 underslung. All the parts everywhere. If you're going to use metal parts, use an extra pot of water. What? What are we? Oh, Larkbeard. Yay! On a 3-stream streak. Do not drop the fleet command. Oh, for God. Why do I let you in here? What fleets do I have? So what I've got is the 2-player starter set. So I've got the UCM in the starter set and the Bioficers. So if you haven't seen Bioficers, these are Bioficers. So what these are, essentially, I love these guys' lore. From what I understand of it, and I need to dig into it a little bit further, essentially there's a whole huge war going on in our solar system. And these guys are an AI, and they picked up the fact that there was this huge war going on, and they were like, we're having some of that. And they've just come for a big punch-up, basically. They are here for violence. We, you know, as motivations go, yeah, why not? So I have those, and I have my PHR as well. So I have Post-Human Republic, which essentially are, oh my goodness, excuse me, I'm recovering from a disease. So if I'm sort of a bit coffee tonight, I do apologise for that. Just 1 second, let me dime away from Mike. I'm alive! And PHR, which are kind of, yeah, they're post-humans, so they're semi-human being people. And very, very cool, and I love them very, very much. So 3. I have 3, which is, you know, that's how you start off subtly on a new system, is you buy 3 armies. Yeah. Anyway, it's definitely one of those things. So I think, I want to save the troop ship for later, because that's going to see a lot of tabletop use. I know it is. So I think we're going to do at a gate, big as. I had them from first, I think. Yeah. Yeah, the Bioficers are new, Darina, but yeah, the other ones, I had UCM Scourge, whatever it's supposed to be, in PHR when they first came out. So that's for me. I bought battle fleets for all 6 factions. Yeah, but Blissful Badger, I just, you know, there's limits. I try to keep some semblance of sanity. I only got the 2-player starter set with the Bioficers and the UCM for demo purposes, to be fair. They're going to be my demo fleets. So my main fleet is going to be my PHR, which is, the game is kind of played, as I understand it, 1,000 to 1,500 points, and I think I'm on about 2,200 points, 2,300 points of PHR. So, you know, that's the thing. That was a life choice. Not a good one, but it was one. So, yeah. It's a thing. Excited about them in Drop Zone. APCs are effectively 3D printers dropping what you need around the battlefield. Yeah, absolutely. I understand that about the Bioficers. They seem really cool. It's an interesting take. I have. So what you're saying is you pulled a CAS when buying into this game? No, because I didn't buy everything. I just bought most. I'm kind of halfway there. I didn't buy absolutely everything. The post-humans I had. Lost the ships. Oh, don't lose PHR. That's rude. I don't suggest this method, but I also know how crazy I'm willing to go. You know, Blissful Badger, it's the way forward. It is the way. If you buy everything, which is the CAS method and the Blissful Badger method, to be fair, there's a couple of people inside the community whose method is buy all of the things, which I don't condone as a life choice. probably. Yeah, I don't know. It's just they are really nice ships. They've always been really nice. When first edition was around, I was always really impressed with them. And the fact they come on multi-part sprues as well, so you get like a cruiser sprue and you can make multiple ships from it, is just, it's just funky. It's just nice. So we're going to be doing an update of my original Mark I UCM scheme. So this is very old. Where are we? I think it's this one. Yeah, this one. So this is my original UCM scheme. It's like a blue-grey with yellow and white highlights, and then metallics. Oh, the joy of being able to use metallics. Oh my goodness, happiness is me. Lots of edge highlighting and stuff on there as well. But yeah, I think that blue-grey is the direction I'm going to go again, because I did like that. It was kind of nice. It was kind of funky. So I think we're going to stick with that as a core concept for these guys, but just update it, because in theory I'm a better player. How can you lose an entire fleet in it? Darina, that is just careless, losing an entire fleet in house move. I just don't think you're trying hard enough. Honestly. Very disappointed. Excuse me. Alright. I didn't buy everything for all the games I play. I didn't buy Dirty Wolf people, Nariadna, or the bad guys on the AO and the criminal ships. Okay, Kaz, you have some restraint. Not much, but you have some restraint. So we are going for the Bruges tonight. So we're going to start work on a cruiser, an 80-point cruiser. It looks like it should be worth more, but it's not. So we're just going to go with that. I kind of want to do them a blue-grey, so I'm going to start by sticking down a really dark blue on all of the plates, where I'm going to stick the blue-grey later, just to get some depth in there. How is everyone's week going? How have you all been? What's the latest with y'all? I think that's the correct way that some my American viewers would pronounce that. Y'all. Is that right? I don't know. Works for me. Oh, I'm dying over it still. It's not your fault. Yeah, I find that as the person involved in the move and the owner of said fleet doing it, I think you'll find a little bit your fault. Not saying it's not understandable. Not saying it's not. I've never lost an entire PHR fleet during a house move. I'm not saying I have, because I haven't. But yeah, and this is a bit of a reward. I've done all the objective markers for the Infinity satellite that I'm running this Saturday, because there's this whole thing. Obviously, like I don't have. I think we've got 35 players at the moment. I get the impression that one of those players is going to drop before the weekend. So we're going to have 34 players. We've got 17 tables of Infinity. I don't personally own that many. I only own 4. So I'm having to get other people to bring stuff in. And everyone has got their own objective markers. But they're all sort of like different look, feel, and all the rest of it. So what I wanted to do is standardize on excuse me, a set of objectives, because then everyone has a consistent experience. But that means that somebody needs to print them, which my good friend Problem did for me. Legend, well, a medium-sized legend after that, I have to say. He actually printed enough for 50 tables, I think. And then somebody had to paint them, which was me. So I spent a week painting 144 different objective markers. And I finished them yesterday. And in doing so, I promised myself that what I would do is have a little moment of doing something that I really wanted to. That was just for the fun of it. So I thought, right, what I'm going to do, I in a moment of just when these guys turned up, I was like, well, I'm going to leave these after the satellite. I'm not going to put them together. And I just had that moment of like, no, stuff it. This is my hobby. I want to have some fun. So I spent a very joyous afternoon putting together these, the UCM. I haven't done the Biofighters fully yet. I've only got one ship up for them. I was like, stuff it. I'm going to paint those. That's what I'm going to do next. I'm not going to do something because I should. I'm going to do something because I want to. Doing it for the fun of it. So that's what we're all about. The cases were labelled, so I think the movers moved them into the cab. Ah, that's just rude and unnecessary. Hey Franco. Hello, guess what? I got a game in against more at 150 points. I learned some things. One, cover his life. Yes. I need more guns. Yes. For the love of God, remember to forward deploy and take the high ground. Yes. Question, is Shindabutai or Kestrel easier to learn the game with as a whole? I have both, you see. Kestrel. Go Kestrel, that'll be easier. Shinden is less forgiving. As a general rule, I think, if you have the option between Pano-Oceania and something else, you go Pano if you want to learn the easiest route. Kestrel's got some quirks to it, but nothing really rampant, whereas you need to, there's certain things you need to learn to do and do well. Like with Shinden, there's certain core fire teams that you need to put together and then learn how to run. The Rushi plus the Yamabushi plus the Tanuki Hacker, for example, that fire team I think is freaking life if you're running Shinden. You need that, but then you need to be able to run it, which is a skill all of its own. So I would say you're going to have an easier time picking it up with Kestrel. It's going to be more forgiving and less heavy and units. I mean, look at the rules for the excuse me. Look at the rules for Hatamoto. That thing has got so many special rules and nested rules and rules within rules within rules, and you need to understand what each one of those does to apply it effectively. So yeah, definitely look for your Kestrel. It will make your life easier. Boom. Oh, I like painting small ships. I'm going to move to a rubbish brush. Use nukes. Nukes is good. I sold my wife's Tyranid army. It was bundled up with all my GW stuff when I sold it. Oh, Captain Castle, no. No, don't do that. Oh, dude. You're still married? How are you still married when you sold her army? Oh, mate. If I sold my wife has, like, Malifaux armies, she's got Eldfall armies, she's got Infinity armies. If I sold one of those, I'd leave the country. Especially if it was a Bakunin. My God. I don't think I could go far enough. They may not see the much of the table at the moment, but that doesn't mean to say that she'd appreciate their absence. God, respect, my dude. You've lived through that. Totally not playing into the whole Kaz buys everything, but built up Thrawn and Tarkin to destroy them out this weekend and started cleaning the pool, and I've been clipping and cleaning my chair, so yeah, you don't buy everything, Kaz, you're quite right. Definitely go Kestrel. Yep, such a simple army to learn how to play the game. It really is. Do we need to feed the Kestrels? No, but it's nice to have a slightly easier route into the game than, like, the number of people that I've seen in various places online talking about the onboarding experience with our friends in Shinden and being like, but what am I supposed to? Yeah, it's not the easiest one to sort of on board with, because there's so much nuance to it, and like, whereas for the most part Kestrel is apply bullet, repeat. Is the enemy still twitching? Yes. Apply bullet, repeat. Is the enemy still twitching? No. Push button. Do that for 5 orders until you finally succeed. Because, you know, Pano-Oceania. But yeah. Oh, I love little spaceships. Just painting little spaceships makes me happy. Even if I know I'm going to be playing them, but even if I don't play them, it's just painting them makes me happy. I had a moment where I sold my original fleets because I was like, well, I'm never going to use them and blah, 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 blah. And it was one of those things where as soon as I leave the house, you're like, oh, little spaceship's gone. Instant regret. But I was strong. Because to be honest with you, I I'll be blunt, the first edition rules for Dropfleet were not good. But the second edition rules for Dropfleet are. It's a very faffy game in its first edition. And the second iteration is a lot cleaner. So, absolutely here for it. With all the giveaways I have entered this month, I have still not won anything. Dorina, that is just poor planning on your part. Did you comment on my bolt action videos? Because then you could be with the chance to win stuff there. Oh my goodness. I've not gotten to the point of fire teams. I've not tried to build one of those yet. Yeah, no, that comes. It's easier inside a Kestrel. Kestrel's more straightforward. I built a bunch of stuff for both Shinden and Kestrel. I'm kind of painting Shinden right now to finish them, which is, you know, it's good to finish. I've heard if you finish stuff off, it feels great. I have no knowledge of having done that, but yeah, good for you. Yeah. The army that I got closest to finishing painting was my Shazvasti, and I had 2 miniatures left to finish off when I sold it. Finishing is for losers. It's just all the potential is gone from the army if you've painted it all. Go with me here. Let me have that moment. I'm sorry about the coughing, guys. I am blimmin'. I got sideswiped by some bug at the end of last week, and it's just wiped me out. I lost my voice for a couple of days, which was especially exciting. Thankfully, I'd got a load of recording done beforehand, because I wouldn't want you to miss my videos. Although YouTube would, because this week's video absolutely tanked because, despite being told not to release it on time, not to release it a week earlier, YouTube did, and then decided because it was up for all of about 6 minutes, that meant it was up properly, released from that point, and then buried it as soon as it launched when it was supposed to. So, yeah, that video did not do well. Although it did cause me immense amounts of comedy on Facebook. If you didn't see it, which is entirely forgivable, it was about the move to digital rulebooks and the fact that I wish we had the option to print them. You have to make printed versions, but it would be good if we had a print on demand option. It would be good if we had the choice to have printed versions. But as companies like Corvus Belli are moving their rulebook not just to digital only, but to digital formatted for mobile only, so it looks bloody awful if you print it, we're losing our option to print our rulebooks, which I think is rubbish. Excuse me, and I think we should get the option to print them if we want to, and not just be tied into digital only. And what I loved was I posted this in some places online, that it was out there, and so many people just commented without watching the video. And I love videos like that because you see people making the most random, unrelated comments, and you're like, I'm not even going to ask if you watch the video because I've made that mistake before. And what you get is these individuals turning around and going, I don't need to watch it, I know what you said. Clearly not, sweet cheeks. Had you known what I said, you wouldn't have said the stupid thing, but you said the stupid thing. It just came into your head, came out your fingers, and now it's part of my world. And I wish it wasn't, because it was incredibly dumb, but here we are. We have to live with it. I have to live with it, because I know you. Anyway, it's just one of those things. So now I let them get on with it and be bemused. Unless it's incredibly egregious, in which case I will wade in. But for the most part, you just sit there and go, it's the internet. Why would you possibly get any facts before you comment? My goodness, perish the thought. Where would that lead us to, people? Excuse me. Right, thoughts on the Maze Raider Train, coming back to that. What do you think of the new narrative campaign, coming back to that? So the smart move might be to try Kestrel and try to keep it simple. Yes, we're playing at 150, definitely. Because all the good stuff with Shinden is too expensive to put in at 150. Don't know if it's tough or not, but I was like, wow, I ran out of points. I did put 2 remotes. Yeah. Well, if you're putting remotes in, you're stuffing orders, so that makes sense. What videos? You'll find them on the channel. Yeah. Hands Off Our Rulebook, I think, is the thumbnail, which amused me. We've semi-parked Bolt Action while we mess around with Conflict 47. Such a great game. I'm avoiding it. They're trying to get me involved. I get So I'm part of the creation team for Warlord. And Warlord are brilliant. I adore Warlord. They're so much fun because you get emails through where you get like, so I can say people like me have got the new Commonwealth book that comes out at the end of July. We have our pause on that one. That's out in the world. We've seen that. That's cool. And it's really, really fun. So you get these emails and like, here you go, there's this. But then you also get things like I had today, where you get an email saying, like, DHL, we've got your packet from Warlord Games, it's on the way. And then you have that moment of like, what the hell, have I drunk ordered something? And then you realise they've posted you something. They didn't tell you what it is. You don't know what it is until it arrives in the house. You're like, okay, I guess I'll see what that is then. And yeah, sometimes it's, excuse me, I had the Italian parachutists. They were very cool. They turned up, loved them. The German heavy weapons teams in plastic, they turned up. They were awesome. And then also I've had a load of Conflict 47, which is like, well, I don't play this, so there's no real point in sending this to me. But they still do. So I need to I think I need to email them and go, if this is Conflict, I don't need it. Because I'm not going to do anything with it, because that's not how, you're not going to get me. I'm not going to succumb. I see what you're doing, but no. It does. I'm awful at finishing stuff, but I'm trying. Good for you, Mr. Franco, you legend. All I know is USA better be fantastic. But yeah, when are they turning up? That's weird. Excuse me. I think it's going to be end of year, Mike, but very odd. There's one remote. It has a machine gun. TL mode. Okay. Plain simple. Set in a building and cover the board. Yeah, it can work. What videos for the giveaway? The bolt action ones. Excuse me. Just going to die. Hang on. So there is the one with newbie friendly and the one with plastic fantastic. So the heavy weapons team review and the ultimate bolt action German starter army. I was feeling a bit hyperbolic that day, so we did a hyperbolic thing. Those ones. How does it compare to the Sulaco? It doesn't. I think the Sulaco was. I thought she was brown. Or dark green, one or the other. No, she's sort of a grey. Blue reflected in the light, but she's actually grey apparently. The original model looks like a browny grey, but well lit. I did contemplate doing a sort of USMC type colour scheme from Aliens. I did contemplate that. Huge fan. But I decided to go for something a little bit different. And my my PHR, when I get around to painting them, they take their inspiration from a tiger shark. Because I hate myself. So I'm going to paint in a way that's going to give me an emotional and mental breakdown. It's going to be great. What could go wrong? Wants more Germans. Everybody wants more Germans. I did that, not drunk, ordered, but the other day I couldn't sleep. I was building Kestrel at 4 AM. I went, I need this. Yeah, it's the way to do it. You just have these moments of, I definitely need the thing. Hey Phoenix, good evening. Yeah, it's how I ended up with all the PHR that I've got. Because actually all my PHR isn't here yet. It's really, really upsetting. I've still got more to come. Yes, Dropfleet. We're on Dropfleet tonight, Gene Dean. Dropfleet Commander. So we're painting up our intro demo armies because I need to get the local community going and we need to do some videos on it. So, whoop, hello. So the best way to do that is to have painted miniatures because everybody loves a pretty miniature. Especially when it's a small spaceship. Small spaceships are pretty. Kind of paint these up so they look good from 3 feet rather than like ultimately high quality, I think. I like these to look like gaming pieces rather than art pieces, I think. That's what I had last time anyway. We're sticking with that this time. Feels better. Oh my goodness, excuse me guys. With all the giveaways I've entered this month, well, you never know. You're feeling down? Don't feel down. It's Monday. You have a week of potential ahead of you. This is good news. With some remotes, a walker, and a few other bits. Well, fair play. Yeah, Dropfleet Cabana. Its return. I had this the first time. Come here. I had this the first time out, and it's a good system. It's a better system now. The first edition I was not a fan of. I'll be honest, I was not. But this edition is really sweet, and I'm kind of hyped to play it. My level of hype, especially if I'm busy with other stuff, can be best expressed by the amount that I buy, and the amount that I bought is not healthy, but I'm happy, and that's important. Later on this week, we have our gaming mat turning up, because, you know, you can't play on just, you know, a 28mm table, but no. Don't want that. Any videos from you on getting into it? Yes, there will be. Spaceship! Mrs. Hydra helping there. Spaceship! Yes, there will be. I'll be doing a whole thing on getting into the system. I will be doing that. Sorry, I'm glad you amuse yourself over there. When your wife decides to be entertaining. Anywho, yeah, there will be. There's going to be a whole lot of stuff. I'm going to do a load of stuff on this. I love the Drop universe. Always have done. It's so much fun. It's light. It's fluffy. I think the lore's really cool. I think that Dave, who makes the games, is very focused on things being fun and enjoyable and a good gaming experience. And he doesn't always get it right, but that seems to be his focus, and that is a really good thing. I should see if I can get him on the channel for an interview, actually. We should have a chat. I think that would be cool. And I can get all of my members to ask questions. And then I can censor half of them out because, no, I'm not asking somebody that. No, 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 no. It's not the way we do things around here, but it's important to give you guys the opportunity. Commented on both, and my cat Bubbles is snoring. Outstanding, Dorina. There'll be more coming. Can't wait to get your box in and get a demo from you. Yep, I'm looking forward to it. Hello, buddy. I'm looking forward to it. Well, this is why I'm painting these up, because you're going to be running these, because you're running UCM, aren't you? You're going UCM. So, yeah, you'll be running these in our demo game when we have it. So you're partly the motivation of me doing this, and also because I freaking want to. I've been painting a lot of stuff because I have to recently, and I'm painting this because I want to, and it's important to do that. There are things, shouldn't always be, especially with your hobby, it shouldn't always be obligated. It shouldn't always be because need to. Don't get me wrong, if you're coming to if you're doing like a satellite tournament and you're going to go to one of those, you should work your socks off and absolutely you should be painting like an absolute maniac right now. There is a satellite that I'm running this weekend. But if you're not doing that, it shouldn't always be because you should do it. It should be because you want to. And I definitely fall into the trap of being like, oh, I should get that done. I should get that done. Not doing stuff because I want to. And it's not good. So right now, I'm painting spaceships because I want to. Oh my goodness, excuse me. If my cough gets much worse, I may have to dip out. Because I do have to record tomorrow for you lovely people. Part of that requires me to have a voice. It doesn't sound like hot garbage. More than it normally does before anyone gets in there. How's that looking? That's looking okay. Good dog. Still Myth Gothic. I should try this. You should. It's a good, this is a fun game. This is just a fun game. I have to say. Drink something. Yes, Mum. My goodness. I am drinking stuff too, but I've got to talk. It's kind of the job. Back on your stick. Got a 1K game last Wednesday. Feels very different from BFG and Void Admiral. Yeah? What did you play? It is indeed TT Combat now. I don't know whether he worked on BFG. I wouldn't be surprised. It's a tarp. Yes. I need to get my war machine. Yes, you do. Nothing gets the army painted faster than going for a satellite in another country. Yes. Excuse me. And we have a painting competition as well, which I really should put into the... Oh, my communication on this satellite has been dire. We're doing this one to learn, and we're learning a lot. And a lot of it is, don't have a rubbish year if you're trying to organise a satellite. And I have had a rubbish start to this year, in many ways. And so my lead into this satellite has not been what was planned. It's very funny. I had planned... Oh, you swine. Don't come off the stick. You did, didn't you? Yep. I had planned to do like a blog series on the run-in to the satellite. So I could do like a retrospective and be like, oh, this is how I planned it, blah, 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 blah. I did my first video for it last week. So it's going to kind of be that one, like, oh my God, I've got 2 weeks left. And then a video of me going, right, it's this weekend, here's what I hope. And then the post-mortem. So, you know, it'll happen. But it's not been what was planned. It's not been what was anticipated. Let's go with that. Right. Hey ho, everyone's excited about it, so that's the important thing. Hype is the important thing. As long as my players have a good time. That is what we care about. Player experience. Oh, what have I missed? My goodness, excuse me. Be nice to do a fleet in World War I naval dazzle camo. That would be freaking awesome, I have to say. I'm not doing that, but that would be freaking awesome. Kit bashing light cruisers is an interesting challenge. I can imagine it is. There's some of the nasty psychic war machine minis on the way. There's a lot of nasty stuff in there, I have to say. Played 1K of UCM versus 1K of jellyfish. I hope you smush them. What's a satellite? So, are you aware of ITS, of the tournament system for Infinity, Captain? Or are you not? Have you heard about this? Do you know anything about it? No is a completely acceptable answer, and I shall explain forthwith while painting really big spaceship. So I just explain it anyway. It's probably easier if I do it ground up, isn't it? So, it's the thing that always... Gear, hello buddy. Evie, hello. Hello. How are you, Evie? Good to see you. In Gear, how are you both? Are you well? Are you good? What's new? Beautiful mammals, both of you. Two of my favourite people turn up at the same time. That's just nice. Although Evie's a new person. We like Evie. Good. I've been making the WhatsApp more lively by asking questions. I noticed. Throwing in verbal hand grenades on a regular basis. I was very aware. Zero guilt, no ragrats. You're not. Okay. Veterans, you can close your ears for a minute. So, one really big thing about Infinity, Captain, and all you new people, is that it's got a competitive streak. I don't know if you've noticed, but it absolutely has. And part of that is the Infinity tournament system. So what is that? That is a global ranking based on ELO, which is just the process by which your wins and losses affect your ranking. So that if you go to an official event, your results are put into their system and you achieve, or you basically are ranked globally with the the winner in the US and the winner in the world getting special prizes every year and all this kind of stuff. So as part of that, we have ITS. They have seasons. They run roughly every September to every September. And each year we get a new set of missions, and where you reset the clock and you're back to everyone's back to 1,000 points, and you go up and down from there. Darina, you are not helping. This will come as a massive surprise, but you are not assisting in any way, shape or form. So we're coming back to Eldfall in a minute. Shush. So we've got so much to come back to. I'm stacking this all up in my poor little brain. What's the spaceship looking thing you're working on? This is a UCM cruiser for Dropfleet, which is a different war game. It's a spaceship. So, so with ITS, you have your ranking and you go up and down based on your performance if you go to official ITS events. Now, every year in Spain, July to August time, we have the Interplanetario, which is effectively the big end of year or end of season blowout that happens. Corvus Belli is present. They do big announcements there. You normally get 140, 150 players duking it out in the heart of Spain, or actually the north of Spain, not the heart of Spain, to figure out who's best. Now, to get there, you can buy a ticket. You can enter into a draw and hopefully get a ticket, and if you do, you can go. Or you can win one of the many satellites which happen around the world. I think there's about 20. If you win one of those, you automatically receive a ticket to go and play at the Interplanetario, basically. So a satellite is a 2-day event, and yeah, it's basically hardcore Infinity. And we're hosting this Saturday the first Dutch Infinity satellite. It's called Hope's End, and it is 10 rounds of absolute violence, which is going to see 34, 35 players smashing the snot out of each other, doing massive amounts of violence for some obscene prizes. My good God, I put them together the other day, and like, yeah, we're giving toys away. We are giving so many toys away. It's kind of like, I may not necessarily have communicated very well on certain fronts, but I have bought the toyage. There's a lot of good stuff. But then we're working with some good people. We've got a gaming store that we work with locally, Lola Miniatures. They're supplying us with some gift vouchers, and we've got Micro Studio to do some terrain, and Corvus Belli sent some stuff as well, a lot of stuff. I got the new special edition tournament pack. I got an original ITS 17 tournament pack as well. Yeah, loads of stuff. And we're giving it all away. It's going to be brilliant. And I also got a local company called Scenery Workshop, who do a load of paint and stuff. They're giving us some stuff for a painting competition. So we've got like loads of stuff to give away. The prize giving is going to take forever because everybody gets to talk. Well, not everybody. I don't like everyone. If there's, I think when we get to like number 20, I'll be like, no, the rest of it's for me. Go home, I'm done with you. So that's kind of how we be. But yeah, it's good. We've got lots of toys. Very excited. Interesting. Thanks for explaining. I just want to roll dice and make my lads sulk. A tournament might be a bit much. Yeah, no, fair play. You don't have to. But what you'll find, Captain, is on the infinitythegame.com, you'll find under the resources section that you can download the mission pack for free for the ITS season, and that will give you missions to play against your son. It's completely free, and it's just a set of the official missions for that season, and that will get you lots of good ways to play, because you don't just want to play kill games. Infinity's not a kill game. Evie, yes, it does look like the Normandy. This is UCM, so this is the kind of main human faction for Dropfleet. And yeah, it's very Normandy-esque, although not all of their stuff is. I'll show you some other stuff in a minute. It's just I decided to paint this one tonight. I gave everyone the option to choose and no one responded, so I was like, right, I'm going to do this one because I want to do a Bruges, which is what this is. Although technically, it did amuse me when I came out. So for those of you who don't know, I live in the Netherlands. I'm not Dutch. And next door to the Netherlands is Belgium, and in Belgium is Bruges, except it's not Bruges, it's Brugge. So I was very confused when me and my wife went to Bruges for the first time, and she was like telling her friends, "Oh yeah, we're going to Bruges," and I was like, "No, we're not going to Bruges." Turns out it's the same place. I was just an anglicised, ignorant Englishman. Who would have thought? Never catch on. But yeah, we're having a bit of a palette cleanser tonight, Evie. I fancied, having spent a week painting 144 objective markers for the satellite, I did not want to paint anything infinity tonight. I wanted something different. So this is our palette cleanser for tonight. Right, so we had many questions. A break from painting. That can say, Honorary Dutchman, thank you very much. Honoured to be so. You're going all Oprah. Price view, price view, price view. Because Captain Castle, Oprah would give a price to everyone. I get bored at number 20 and I'm like, nah, rest is for me. So there's the wooden spoon as well. There is the wooden spoon as well. That's true. Fake Infinity channel doesn't paint actual Infinity. How rude, Evie. You're new. Careful. Careful. I got you in with the Dutch community and this is how you repay me. Fucking rude. Right, we're going up the page. Thoughts on HydraBreaker terrain. What do you think of the new narrative campaign? So, excess thoughts on the HydraBreaker terrain. I think that it is really good that Corvus Belli are trying to do something different. I don't think it's great. I think the organic look and like there's like spears and stuff sticking up. I think that's going to lead to questions about line of sight and excuse me, create ambiguity where we're dealing with newbies, and we don't want ambiguity where there's newbies. We want clarity. So I don't think the terrain is particularly great. I think there's less because of these little sticky bits, and that is not great in a game that requires you to be able to get out of the storm of bullets. Having less ways to do so is not good. It's, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. CB's in a weird spot for me at the moment. I think there's a whole video about it. It's one of those things. I'm part of the creator team again for CB as well. Doing the video may get me out of that, but we shall see. We shall see. I just feel a bit uninspired by Corvus Belli at the moment. And HydraBreaker is it. It's it writ large for me. Because OSS, or Vedic LF as they were when I started in N2, were my first love, followed by Nomads. In no small part, Corregidor. So this HydraBreaker should be an absolute freaking dream from my perspective. It should be absolutely the cat's pajamas for me. I should be beset with joyous happiness. I'm not. I'm not. I'm completely indifferent to it. I have no interest in it at all. And they were talking the other day about the fact that, you know, this is going to split Corregidor in two. So you get the surface team and you get the space team and blah, 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 blah. Like, oh, thank God, it means I don't need to add this dross to my my corgis. My corgis can stay as they are. That makes me happy. Because I don't want to add this stuff. This doesn't look interesting to me. I'm not. I am indifferent. And that's just not a good place to be. So I think there's going to be a video about this at some point about where I'm at. Because like I think I'm supposed to be going to Interplanetaria this year and running Shock Army. I'm going to be doing a whole load more stuff with Shock Army, but I'm not going to the Interplanetaria, I think. I just don't. The competitive side of Infinity is leaving me cold at the moment because, yeah, for a whole load of reasons. Whole load of reasons. Will it cheer you up if I tell you that I, as a fresh perspective, do quite like what I'm seeing in the box? Evie, my yuck does not ruin your yum. You crack on. I am really happy. Like, a lot of people in my community are excited for it. A lot of newbies are excited for it, and I'm really, really happy for that. Me not being very whelmed by it is not an excuse for, or not a reason. I don't think other people shouldn't enjoy it because I'm not. But I think that it's interesting why I'm not. Refill of the drink before Dorina tells me off for not drinking enough. I think that there are things to commend it, but I think that there are, yeah. At some point there's going to be a review, and it's going to be a little bit like my first hot take, and that's, yeah. Yeah. We shall see. We shall see. I deny your degree of whelmedness. Well, you deny away, Evie. You deny away. You tell me. I should ignore you, but you tell me. What do I think of the new narrative campaign? I think, Kaz, the new narrative campaign is a good thing. I think that getting more narrative inside of Infinity is a fantastic concept and something that should have happened long ago. Yeah, I want to see how it runs out. To be honest with you, you're a goddess of chaos. Are you really? Gorgeous mini shipment. Thank you very much. Gear, interesting. Thanks for. I'm proper hyped for May. It's got exhibitor tickets for UKGE, so we'll be allowed in early. First stop CB. Awesome. Like I say, my job. So like, I view the Dice Gods is a job to me. Okay, let's be blunt. It is. I earn part of the revenue that pays my mortgage from this channel. I do. And to be honest with you, the more that I do, the more that I earn, the more I'm going to do of it. So, you know, anywho, that's by the by. So this is a job. And that means, I take it that means my job is to tell you guys honestly what I think. But I only ever want you guys to take that as my opinion. And I'll tell you why I think it, and I'll be clear with you. And it really doesn't matter, like, it doesn't matter to me whether I was given something, whether I have a relationship with a company or whatever. I will be honest with you. If I didn't spend my money on it because somebody sent it to me, I'm not going to, like, take that as a reason to tell you that, no, you should definitely do this, amazing. If it's simply not. It's like, we're going to do the review of the 2-player starter set of this at some point, okay? Now, I love a lot of stuff in this set. I think the miniatures are great. I think they're brilliant. I think the rulebook is cool. I think it's fine. I think it does the job. It's a bit poorly produced. There's like bubbles on the side of it. It's been badly cut. I think the presentation of it is okay. You know, the sprues that you get in here, the amount of stuff, like I said about the fact I've got biophysis, the sprues are just rammed full of so much stuff. And they're beautifully detailed and they're really, really nice. So we have all that. But the thing that I don't like, that I really don't like at all, come here, is you've got all these markers, and they look okay, but the card quality, this is actually 2 here, the cardboard quality of this is really cheap. It's really nasty. Now these are playing pieces. We've got, so here, you've got launch assets, you've got fighters and bombers, and you've got people that you can land down, and assets that go on areas where you deploy and stuff like that. And this just feels a bit crap. I'll be honest, it doesn't feel nice at all. It's really cheap. And I'm going to tell you stuff like that. Does it mean that I don't think you should buy this set? No, I think you should probably buy this set if you want to get into this. I think this is a really good way of doing it. But thin cardboard is crap, and I'm not going to tell you it's not. So when I'm talking about stuff like, about Mazebreaker, I only ever want you to take that as my opinion. If you look at it and you think, actually, this is the finest thing that has ever crossed my gaming space, I'm happy for you, and that's how it should be. My hobby is not your hobby, and if you're happy, I'm happy, because that's all you should be in your hobby. But I'll tell you what I think and why. Do you use like a fancy acrylic markers when you play Infinity or something more simple? Fancy acrylic all the way, Evie. You're going to use a lot of markers. I have probably 100 to 150 markers that I keep in my box. You're going to need a lot. That's all I will say about that. You would think card. Exactly. Yes, doubling things would have been nice. It really would have been. The only, excuse me, Paying off the mortgage is tight. Absolutely in gear. Doubling the thickness would have been good for most of it, but not all of it, Blissful Badger. The bits that go on the table, I think, is good because if they're thin, because you can put the ship on top of it and it doesn't then wobble. That makes sense. But for the markers and the tokens and stuff, it's just cheap. It's just cheap. There's no need. Just don't. Do it nicely or don't do it at all. I immediately see the ones for the ordnance and said, yes, absolutely. Don't even go there. Don't even go there. You guys want to see some other Dropfleet miniatures? What about these base toppers as ground on your miniatures to stand on? Evie, what I'm doing at the moment, so, oh my goodness, excuse me, sorry. I tend to use acrylic, I tend to use either 3D printed or resin bases. At the moment, I'm working on my stuff for my Shock Army Vacon Cemento, which is not something you'll probably be aware of, but Shock Army. It's pretty little Shock Army miniature. But the bases for them are based, I wanted to do kind of a destroyed city that's been reclaimed by the jungle. So I got some 3D printed bases and then just screwed them up basically and went to work on them a little bit. So, you want focus. This is the kind of thing that I'm going to be rolling for them. Including, but not limited to, little fancy mushrooms. Come on, focus. Look at a little fancy mushroom. Oh, yeah, cute fire. And then when the miniatures actually go onto here, they're going to get, like this guy is nearly done, they're going to get grass tufts and stuff stuck around them and a little bit more of like foliage and stuff on them. So this is what I'm doing for bases, but this army is very special to me, so I'm really kind of going all out on it. I'm really taking my time now, which is one of the other reasons I'm not going to Interplanetaria, because I can take more time to get this done the way that I want it, and it can be perfect. Which is how I want it, because I'm never getting rid of this army. It's going to stay with me forever and ever. Subtle, I know. My local game store has a print of that kind of stuff. Yeah. Upbeat. Sorry for the being quiet, but doing academic work and also checking how bad air travel has gone. Yeah, don't even go there. It's a mess. Yeah, Evie, you've got my WhatsApp. Message me, and I can point you in direction. Micro Art Studio, for example, you can buy like pre-done resin stuff that they ship to you, and you can work with that so much easier. So, Mr. Van Diem, thank you very much. Hello. Yeah. Just want to pay out for the more expensive stuff. They put the cheap stuff in. You want to upgrade to expensive bits. I hear you, but you get like the thicker cardboard from Corvus Belli inside of their 2-player starter sets, and people still upgrade. It just means that I've got this set to demo, and part of it gives me the ick. That cheap cardboard is cheap cardboard. It's just not nice. There's no need. TT Combat sometimes fall at last title. All the carnival layouts and cards are very 2001 website to me. Yeah, no, they do. I've noticed that. I've heard rumours, but we'll see. I need to get to know them better. I very much need to get to know them better, so we shall see. So yeah, there's that. Of course. Hey, thank you, Captain Castle. Thank you for subscribing over on Twitch. That's very kind of you. Subscribing in 2 places is peak flex right there. Something like that. Right, we need to take this guy up to the next level. It's time for the next stage. So, stand a base. We're gonna also, I've got these printed up for the bases. These are what the actual bases are going to be like for the Dropfleet. These are the new ones that you can get 3D printed. Phoenix Young Man has been doing that for me. Got about 70 to get done, so that's exciting. But yeah, these are sort of designed on the previous ones, and they actually have utility when you play the game. So you have fire arcs, but you also, these little holes here are for spikes. So when you're, there's no ranges on weaponry inside of Dropfleet, which is one thing that I love. It's based on the scanners of your ship, which have a certain range. It's based on the signal of your ship, which basically adds to that range based on the size and complexity and blah, blah, blah. But you can also gain spikes, which is like when you open fire with everything, you obviously give away your position. So these are for putting little spike markers in so that you can track how far you can be seen effectively, which is kind of funky. So these are FDM, I think. Do you know, I am surrounded, as Mr. Van Doom will tell you, by absolute legendary gods of the printing world. We have a community on WhatsApp for our local gaming community. There is a whole chat just for 3D printing, and the stuff that they talk about there is insane. Very cool. I know nothing of 3D printing, and I value my ignorance. I'm quite happy to be dumb as a rock when it comes to 3D printing stuff. So I believe FDM, but I'm not sure. FDM, yeah. See, Phoenix actually did it. Him and Mr. Van Diem there, legends when it comes to this stuff, and they absolutely know what they're talking about. And I just go, but will it be pretty? I want to know if it's pretty. And it is pretty. Look at that. Oh, flies well as well. Did you see that? Whee. Anyway, so it's pretty, and that's what I care about, whether it is pretty. And I'm still waiting on a price from the young man, because I think I need about 70 of these. Oh, you have a problem. Excuse me, because like, you stick that on there. I'm going to paint these down black at some point. But like, look at that. It's great. You've got like the space for the dice to track damage. The damage these won't be taking because they're not going to get shot, because no one would do that to me. Critical penetrator. Glad to see way more people get into this game. Me 3. I'm getting back into it technically. So I take that as sweet, Gene. It was almost pretty. It almost was pretty. Magnet hole in the bottom. Nope. Oh, boo boo. Terrible. I don't want it anymore. Phoenix, I don't want any more of them. They're rubbish. They don't have any. Where's there magnets in the bottom? I'm disgusted. How are you, Critical Penetrator? Good to see you. And we also had a question a little while ago. Phoenix, can you message on the Discord with what settings you use? No, he can't, because Phoenix is a local. He's not actually a member of the channel. So he isn't actually on there. But I'll get him to send me the settings, and I'll put them on Discord for you, Gene. If that's okay, Phoenix, can you do that for me? Also, as very tangent for Eldfall, is it worth getting the goblins? Yes. Is it wise to wait until Apocrypha? No. No. Right, so, right. Eldfall moment. Da, 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 da. We're going to do some Eldfall for a minute. I was going to get up and get something then. I've completely... Oh yeah, I know what I was getting. So, is it worth getting goblins? Yes, goblins are cute. They are... I would say that they're kind of a... At the moment, they're one of the smaller factions, so they're more limited in what you're going to be able to do with them. So just bear that one in mind. If you want a whole load of options, they ain't got them, and they're not going to be getting them anytime soon. So, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Having a limited size of faction is sometimes blissful, almost badger-like in its blissfulness, in fact. So there's that, and they have a very interesting playstyle. Apocrypha's coming, so we have Northern Wind, which is great. That's a story, and Apocrypha will be another story progressing the world of Eldfall Chronicles forward. Oh, goodness me. Sorry guys, I'm just going to pause for 1 second. Give me 2 minutes, I'll be right back. Right, we're back in the room. Hello. Right. Do you know how infinity I am? This is my bottle opener that's by my desk. Nice. Right, what did I miss? Abuse, probably. Where are we? More resilient than MDF and some 3D prints. True, true. Thick cardboard is great if you want to get a good amount of tables up. That's true. Playing fancy games does feel better. Like if you get a deluxe edition for a board game and it has metal coins that click. Yeah. Absolutely true, Evie. Absolutely true. Oh man. Breathing. Right. Speaking of spaceships, if someone has not read Black Fleet books, they are amazing. Good to know. Black Fleet Saga by Joshua Dalzell on the list. No worries about sub. I didn't use Twitch anymore and used to forget to use my Prime sub. Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. That's very kind. And anyone else that wants to pop along to Twitch and subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. That would be very kind indeed. Because it all helps. Grassroots. Yeah, it's the way to think about the dungeon crawlers, Gene, is that they are going to progress the narrative of the world. They're going to push the story forward. That's the really interesting thing for me about Eldfall, is you're going to have the whole story through that and then moved on, you know? So, have fun doing it. See you in a minute. Thinks plays great. There I said it. He really is. He's a wonderful human being as well. And he paints like a god. You know when you just want to hate someone and you just can't? Hydra, where am I based roughly? I am based in around Breda. Where are you based? Are you in the Netherlands? Despite the accent. Spaceship books. Exactly that. I'm rewatching The Expanse right now for the Corregidor vibes. Yeah, The Expanse. I cannot wait for the game to come out for The Expanse. I'm looking forward to that so much. What factions are being focused? What on? Well, there's many faction focuses to come. My God, I've been planning so many. Thank you, Phoenix. Mr. Hyder gone to bring up nasty bit. No. Lost connection for him. No. Can I give you a rundown of how Dropfleet plays? Oh, nice. Good to know. Then critical concentration, we should absolutely talk. From what I understand, so it's a D6 system. Kaz. It is a kind of orbital spaceship game. So this isn't like interspace like battles type stuff. And what you're mostly doing is playing missions to capture objectives like spaceships and like space stations and cities and stuff like that, to control areas and things like that. So it is very much kind of, you give a specific order to your ship, like weapons free, or I can't remember what the maneuvering one is. There's various sort of orders you can give them, and then they move in certain ways and behave in certain ways. Excuse me. And it is a interesting but quite light. I mean, you look at this is the whole rule book, sorry, including law. So there's law. Let's get rid of the law for a second. There's rules. And that's kind of, where are we? Yeah. So they were into missions. They were into scenarios. So from page 23 to page 46, so 23 pages of rules in total for the whole system, which is pretty good. You have some special rules on top of that as well that add in flavour, but like lots of, you can see mission based all the way, which is kind of funky. The actual ships themselves, this is multiple ship statistics, so you can see that they are not. This is not a complicated system by any stretch of the imagination. It's relatively straightforward, relatively clean, relatively easy to play, and that's the joy of it. I play Infinity for the crunch. I play L4 for the crunch. I like to have other systems like Bolt Action, like Dropfleet, like Star Wars Legion that I can just dive into and spend time with and not feel that I'm having that same level of kind of, dear God, I need to keep on top of this, blah, 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 blah. I even got to play an Expanse LARP in the banded Italian mine under a mountain a whole weekend with no sun as we were all having... LARP, that is cool. LARPing as the Expanse. Oh, it's genius. The Expanse is epic, I have to say. Stock at issue 1 will always have a special place in my heart. For me, Eevee is Babylon 5 all the frickin' way. There's an Expanse RPG. Yep. Would love to chat, Hydra. Yeah, I have my email address in bio. That's good for you. Glad to see you covering it, though. It needs more, isn't it? It's such a great game. Yeah, agreed. It's kind of a return for me, as I say, Critical. I backed it originally on the Kickstarter and was playing Drop Zone heavily at that point. Where are you based? What part of the world are you in? That would be also good to know. You've not seen Babylon 5? Oh, Eevee, I am jealous. So you're gonna get a mini lecture. So first of all, if you track down and watch Babylon 5, first of all, it is a TV show of the early 90s, and the special effects are of that era and have not been updated, and probably will not be updated for a whole load of reasons that I won't bore you with. What Babylon 5 did is it was the first show that had a multi-series arc planned from the very beginning. So JMS, the guy who created it, J. Michael Straczynski, if I just pronounced his name terribly, because I'm normally fine with it, but not tonight. He planned to make 5 series when they started, and then they made 5 series. The story in the pilot is paid off all the way to the very last episode of the 5th season, 117 episodes, something like that, plus multiple movies. It is stunning. The breadth, the scope, the ideas behind it, the things that it touches on, it's fantastic. And if anything, the thing that did for it was that scope, because you needed to stay on top of it, or the story kind of got away from you. And if you didn't watch for 2 or 3 weeks, when you're watching back in the day when you couldn't stream these things, then what you ended up doing is you ended up missing bits of the story, which could feel, hard to then get back on top of, which is cursed and blessed. I've watched several times all the way through the whole 5 series arc, and it is always a joy. It is always fantastic. The breadth of things that they cover, and the way that it's identifiably our species out in the universe, plus a whole bunch of aliens, and there's so many brilliant moments in that. Yeah. I am jealous of people that have never seen it, because you get to experience these magical moments. There's a bit with a guy who just waves up smiling. He looks up in the sky and he waves and smiles lightly, and it is just poetry. You will not experience anything else like it, I have to say. I've not seen another show, even Expanse, in my opinion. The storytelling is not as good as B5. It's not as broad and not as bold in what it does. So yeah, if you haven't watched B5, treat yourself. Your life will be enriched by the experience, and you'll fall in love with the characters as well if you have any soul at all. So it is the GOAT. You're completely right. Belter Loader. Yeah, you got it in gear. Give me Star Furies. Abso-frackin-lutely. Loved B5 when it first came on telly. Excited for each episode that came out. Absolutely. And a new movie came out recently, an animated one. So, never got to watch Babylon 5. My parents were not ones to embrace nerd culture. Kaz, treat yourself. Oh. No, and it has the spelling mistake on it as well. Critical Penetrator. Oh, if you spotted that. But yeah, I'm in the UK from time to time. So, definitely. Amazon Prime, definitely. Recently started a rewatch on Prime. The story still holds up. It really does. Actors are unbelievable. The guy in the Fall is a costume with the Fall is makeup face put tears in your eyes at one point. Yeah, true. Veer Koto in his wave. Exactly, Gene Dean. That moment, that smile. Oh my god. Night Phoenix. There's a Dropfleet event next month at Element Games. Planning to take the Sheltari and a friend bringing the UCM. About a 5-hour drive from us though. Oof, that's commitment. Need to find the time. At least I went through the Expanse. Yeah, Kaz, it's one of those things. If you can find the time for B5, it will reward you. It is a lot of time you'll need to spend on it, but it's definitely worth it. Made 4, but the 5th was last minute confirmation. Claudia left due to other commitments, and JMS had to get another. Yeah, I know. I know the story behind it, but it's still legendary. And that last episode is, oh my god, Jakara in his speeches, right? We got a planet. Yeah. It is the Delenn speech of, he is behind me, you are in front of me. That goosebumps every time. 2 years since I watched it. I should watch it again. You should do, Blissful Badger. My car is an Omega class destroyer with a full payload. I love the fact that my community is having the B5s at the moment. I love you guys. You're brilliant. It is nice that there are so many people out there that still have the love for B5. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where sometimes you get like, I don't know, I've never heard of it, and then other times you just hit the right person. They're like, oh yeah, I'm with you all the way. Do you remember when? Oh dear. The core is mother, the core is father. So many lines in that are gold. Have to say. Nestor as well as a character. Oh. Ambiguity. He's a scumbag, but we love him. Not that we think that close to him. Be someplace else, absolutely. Last episode always makes me cry. I'm with you. Me too, Dorina. No shame. That last episode is just pure. My Infinity game today is taking a tackle box I ordered and organising all my tokens. Good lord, yeah, that's the way forward. You need to keep that stuff organised. Got to be able to find it when you're playing. That is the way forward, Rango. Definitely. I want to turn this up a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Maybe a bit bluer. The thing is, I want to hit some of the panels with a different colour, so I don't want to go too crazy at this point, but... What I like about these ships is there's just enough detail on them that, like, a fairly hefty dry brush will bring that detail out and make things, like, pop and start working really nicely. You don't have to work too heavily on them, and I appreciate that, because I don't want to spend... Like, with my hobby, I don't want to spend all of the time on everything. I don't want to spend days and days and days painting every single model in every single game. Some things I just want to be nice and done, you know? I have friends who live for the painting side of things, and I love them for it, and I'm incredibly jealous of them. Mr. Van Diem as well is one of those people, although he's incredibly efficient with what he does. But, yeah, sometimes it's nice just to be able to smash them out. Because sometimes good enough is good enough. My goodness, excuse me. I'm still rather intimidated of the... I have to paint by models. Yeah, you will. You get there. It's a learning curve. It's a learning curve. Don't be scared. It's miniatures. You can always strip them back if you hate it. I'm a perfectionist, knowing it'll not be perfect from the start stresses me out. Time and energy. Check out Mean Green Minis. He's another Dutchman, and his work is gorgeous. Mean Green Minis on Instagram. Geo is a legend and produces some lovely, lovely work. Nothing but praise for what he does. And you'll find that there's lots of stunning painters. Actually, Geo is in the Dutch community. You'll find him on the WhatsApp group. So if you need advice, there's lots of people who will happily give it to you. Be someplace else. Yeah, mine. I'm off it. There was a B5 war game called Call to Arms. Not sure if it's still going. No, it's not. I used to own some of the miniatures for that, but they disappeared. Later, Jindine. Take care, my friend. The way the world is right now, rewatching stuff like SG1, B5, etc. is kind of keeping me sane. Agreed. We are all star stuff. Yes, we are. If some players, I can set up a B5 on Roll20. Painting models is never the destination, but the journey, and the journey never ends. True that, Kaz. Models is horrible. She's beyond annoying to paint. And she goes into every list. The Ment. Yeah. Mean Green Minis, another Dutchman. You have clearly stated you are not one of those. I sense hypocrisy. No, Mean Green Minis is a friend of mine. I met him. I met him through the Dutch community, and then found out that he was a stunning painter. You know, when you meet someone, you're like, yeah, we'll throw some dice, that'd be cool, and then you start throwing dice, and you're like, your miniatures are gorgeous. Oh yeah. Here's my Instagram. Oh, okay. And then you look at it, and you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, you're pretty good at this, aren't you? Damn it. He's boy's got skills, absolutely, as well as being a very nice human being. I'm very lucky with my friends, including you, Kaz. You lovely mammal, you. I might play one more game with Shinden while I paint up more Kestrel, but hopefully I can get enough painted up so I can play the game. Yeah. You meant him, difficult Brit. I see you. Bring it. I want them to pop as though they're popping out of a comic page. Yeah, can be done. It can be done. Getting the saturation right, Evie, can be a challenge, but there's ways to do it. There are tricks. There are tips. It is not beyond the wit of persons out there. You will be fine, and the community is always really supportive, locally and internationally, like for wargaming. So you will be fine. You will get, as long as you're okay to take advice and you're happy to seek help and support, then you will be absolutely fine. So when people try and get better on their own without like reaching out, it just takes. I mean, you do it because everyone had to figure this out at some point on their own, but it will just take longer and be more stressful. So utilize the people around you. You will find people always willing to share their wisdom and the lessons they learned and the pain they went through. Very much so. How's that looking? Let's have a look. Where are we? There. Let's get that like blue tint that I want. And a wolf grey tint. It's looking alright. Most of this is just going to be, excuse me, just dry brushed over with silver, because I don't really want to do, I don't think it needs anything else. Like I've seen some designs that people have done that have been really fussy and things, which is cool. I mean, it's you do what you want, but I prefer my UCM to look kind of very militaristic and like, you know, I don't want them to look all fancy and flashy. And actually, that's going to be true of my PHR. I think if I was going to do anything that was like sort of extravagant, it would be I would go Resistance, because Resistance is a faction inside of the Drop universe and is very much Mad Max in space. So then, heck yes, we're going to go wild and crazy. But for these, I just want it a little bit more subtle. I think I need that blue as well. It needs to be blue there. These are fun to paint. These are just, it's a nice palette cleanser to, you know, to do something like this. It's just a little bit different, and I like that. I appreciate that. Excuse me. Sorry for dying at you on a regular basis. What do we think? Is it looking all right? I think it's looking all right. It's looking okay. I have learned you should have a bright white base coat if you want vibrant colours. Yeah, it depends. Is that question? Critical, you have an early start. Take care, my friends. Just want to say hi. Watched loads of your videos over the years. Well, thank you very much. If you want to chat anything, Dropfleet, hit me up. Good luck with the UCM. Appreciate you. Appreciate that. I absolutely will. We will connect. I'm not a good human being. I'm a bad person. Stop spreading such rumours about me being nice. Uh-huh. Okay, you're very bad, but you mean, oh, you're so nasty. He's a really scary boy, everybody. He's a scary monster. UCMJ, I'm not joking about running B5. No, I have no doubt. I have no doubt. But at the moment, I am rammed for too much things to do. You know what I mean? There's only so many hours in the day. What are we going to do now? I think, should we do some metallics? I always feel, because I've done Infinity for so long, when I start doing metallics and stuff like that, I feel have a little bit of like, ooh, shouldn't be doing this. This is a bit naughty. It's not, but I'm just so used to doing non-metallic metal these days that when I use metallics, I was just like, ooh, it's a little bit dangerous, a little bit dodgy. Shows my crazy side. Yes, I have a crazy side when I use metallic metals. You should try being in my head. It's even worse in here, I tell you. I know what I mean. What do we think, guys? Do we think it looks pretty? I think it looks pretty. I was looking at all the feedback that people give for this system, and they're like, oh, you can magnetize them so you can do different loadouts on the same ship. And I'm like, that's just not me. I like having, you know, this ship will, at some point very soon, be given a name, and that will be the name of this ship forever. That will be what this ship is called. And however it performs, whatever it goes in, you know, that will be what this vessel is. And so the idea of like magnetizing it so you can make it a different ship, no. You know, the USS Donut can't shoot to save its life. You know, that only has one loadout. It's one particular vessel. You don't name it differently. It's just weird. People are just strange when they do that, in my opinion. But I think I will worry more about the naming of my PHR fleet to start off with. These guys are, like I say, they're going to be for demo purposes. Going to get people into the game. Spread the disease. I'm sorry about the coughing, guys. This isn't my crazy side. Hell no. Not even remotely. Hydra's command. NMM is totally outside of any possibility to my colourblind face. Very jealous of peeps that can do it. I can sort of... I've been playing the game Infinity a long time. So therefore I've kind of built up my way of doing it. And it looks fine. You know? I don't think there's a technical quality to it. I think it's relatively successful, and I'm happy with how it looks. So, but it's definitely one of those life skill things that if you can do it well, it's good. Have I got any in my NMM close to hand? Not really. Little bits. Right. So we need some metallics on here. Then you can start picking out individual panels with different colours. Let's do that. Excuse me, for goodness sake. Right, somewhere in this dusty pile that you can't see behind here, there are a load of metallics. That's not metallics, that's weathering. Ooh. Uh-oh. Objective down. Right. So legitimately, I have a load of metallic paints. But they've been in there so long, this one's separated. So, what have we got in here? Let's have a look. I need something. Heavy metal, that might be a thing. I don't know. Speed metal, almost certainly not. That's going to be a top layer. Shining silver, new. Plate metal, that looks quite dark. I like that one. There's going to be a lot of my natural steel, probably not. Oily steel, that sounds good. Oily steel sounds good. Start there and go up to a speeded metal. It's got double D on it. I don't know why it's got double D on it, but it does. Anyway, spin things up. Do you do metal to weapons or not? What, as in... hang on a second. Do you mean as in with Infinity, I always do... If I do metal, it's non-metallic metal in Infinity. And also with Eldfall as well. It's just That's non-metallic metal. That's it all the way. You don't like the Osaka Rio Vilnius magnetisation. Like I said, these ships are going to end up there with their own individual names because that's part of the fun for me. You know, having the USS Doofy that can't shoot for toffee is fun. I like having the lore and I like having that kind of approach. I think it's interesting. I think it's fun. It's part of the attraction for me. So, no, there won't be any magnetisation. I agree about magnetisation. I'd rather buy 5 of the same model with each loadout than... Yes. Yeah, that's the problem, you see. And some of these, when you look at some of these sprues, they make multiple different types of vessel. So there's a lot. But we're just doing that. That's fine. I'm fine with that. There's certain builds that I'm going to use a lot and certain ones that I'm not going to use. And yeah, guess which ones I'm going to build. All of them, clearly. Because that's just my way. It's just how we do stuff around here. A little bit lighter. I'm almost tempted to pluck it, get a lighter blue and whack that over the top of here, actually. For a final, like, boom highlight, you know? That could be funky too. It's looking pretty sweet. Kind of happy with that. Kind of happy. I need a scrappy brush, actually, if I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm sorry, puppy. Am I keeping you awake? I'm getting groaned at by the dog. I'm clearly making too much noise. Excuse me. My goodness. Should we expect some kind of tweaks or balance stuff from CB with MazeBreaker dropping? Nope. That's done. Any spaceships books recommendations? Need a palette cleanser from Takashi Kovacs. If you're going for straight spaceship stuff, I'm not the person to ask about this at the moment. I'm not, because I'm avoiding sci-fi like the plague. Although I'm reading Hyperion at the moment, but that's not a spaceship story per se. I'm trying to avoid stuff in my genres, so fantasy and things like that I'm trying to stick away from. I'm working mostly on stuff that is useful. It's research material rather than like fun books, because I need research material at the moment, not fun books. It's just what's going on with my own work. So yeah. Later, Dorina, take care. I decided that magnetising the battleships was worthwhile. Most of the cruisers are set build, but those 3 ships mag so easily. Yeah, no, I understand that, Blissful Badger, but I'd rather buy 3. Just added some more photos. I shall check those out. Look forward to it. Scientific question. What's going on with Hack Islam? They were not in the N5 book and now are not part of MazeBreaker. I also understand they didn't get any big changes in N5. Any ideas? Hack has always been a weird one because, like, they're really interesting and they're really fun, but then CB doesn't really give them as much love, in my opinion, as they should do. That's just CB. Just CB being CB. So at the moment, no, they're not particularly in a great place, or they're not getting a lot of new toys and things. We kind of had Black Wind, which was the last update for them, but that wasn't really a great big update. That was kind of a bit of a smush around the edge more than anything. So I don't know. They're a bit of a ginger stepchild at the moment. They're not getting the love that I think they deserve, and that would be interesting. And they've had bits, but nothing really substantial. I feel like I've said a lot recently, that there's a race to the middle, and I don't think you can race to the middle with something as flavourful as Hack. I think they're a bit too, strongly flavoured to be averaged out, and I think that's possibly not doing them any favours in CB's eyes at the moment. So, yeah. There's that. So I don't know what's going on with them, Mr. Straight Answer. Although you have the plague. I do have the plague. It's really unhelpful. Very much not appreciating it. Totally gets in the way of my flow. You suddenly spontaneously explode with coughs. Not very great for your experiences either, so I apologise, as I say. But yeah, I hope they sort out Hack. Hack could do with some love. There's a couple of factions that I'd like to see get more love that haven't. We know we're going to get some updates and bits and pieces with the re-release of things like the French when they happen. I guess we'll get some updates there, maybe. We kind of have with the other ones that have been re-released from Ariadne, but will it be major? No. Will it be what it needs? No. Because what it needs we're not getting, which is jump back in time. Yeah. I was talking over the weekend with some friends actually about I'm really tempted on this channel, and this is a little bit controversial, but it tells you where I am at the moment. I'm actually tempted to do some N3 and N4 battle reports for the Dice Gods. Yeah. Like, this is what Infinity used to be. Just wait for that French re-release to happen. Get my Mirror Visions back on. And then we'll show you what a 25 order list can do. It'll be hilarious. And do it timed as well. Show it can actually be played in 2 hours. Because you can play a 25 order list in 2 hours. It's really easy. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing that when they drop, because I think that would be hilarious. N3, N2, probably N3 actually. N3 would be far enough back to be fun. It's N4 nuked them, so. I do think it's very weird they don't include all their factions in their lore books. It's not that. So the lore books are lore books, so they're storybooks. They're a snapshot of where the main kind of funsies are happening at that point in the universe, and not everybody's straight involved with those. So I understand why it would be great if they were, but I also understand why they aren't, because that wouldn't make sense, because not everybody's involved in all things all the time. So I kind of get it, why they're not, but I also get it from the perspective of players, where it's like, well, yeah, but what's going on with my guys? Well, you'll have to wait. Well, I don't want to wait. I want to find out what's going on with my guys, what's going on. So I understand it from both sides. But yeah, from a narrative perspective, you're not always going to hear everybody all the time. That's my view anyway. That's my 10 euro cents. Boop. This is starting to take some shape. It's starting to look like a thing. Spaceship. Concentration there. Did you hear that? It's actual focus. Dear Lord. Never catch on. I have to give that up. Bad for me, clearly. It is nice painting these, though. They're a lot of fun. I don't need it to be like perfect, but I think that's looking pretty good. That's looking alright, isn't it? Pretty sexy. I do think it's very weird. Yeah. But there are just some factions. Or is that something that CB does? There's just some factions that don't get nearly the love that others do. Yeah, very much so. Yeah. Pano, Yuching, to an extent Nomads, Combined Army, these are the big ones. You know, NA2 doesn't really, you don't really see the massive love for Hack, for example. They tend to get a little bit of the ginger stepchild treatment of just like, oh yeah, they're there too. Which is a shame. And sometimes I feel it's kind of what they have ideas for. Like, it just doesn't inspire them as much, which I can get. I can understand that. If you look at the faction, you're like, what should I do with that? And the answer is stuff. That's not really good. It's not good for players. It's not good for the factions, etc. But then you can't really retire them because people have models and it's an entire faction. So yeah, it's a bit of Bit of a difficult one, to say the least. But they'll. I have every confidence they'll resurface at some point with bits added and stuff. You know, we had the Shakush a little while back for hack and things, so we'll see bits and pieces again, no doubt. Spaceship! At least they finally did away with the AI voice on their explainer videos. Don't even go there. And a human voice. Yes, it was very nice. It was good that they have done rid of that. Actually excited for the French, as one of said dissent, excited to have a national army, and yeah, in the current world state, hard to be all America about things. Kaz, I cannot imagine, and you have my sympathies, brother. Yeah, the French, they were one of my main armies back in N2 and 3. So much fun. There was something about just carpet bombing the middle of the board with camo markers, and then putting like stupid fire teams on the back line and being like, yep, here's everything, come at me. Don't care what you do, it's going to make no difference. We're just going to be, yeah, it's just going to be violence over. It's going to be great. Trust me, I'll love it. You won't, but that's not really my problem. You know, there was a joy to it, and I loved it. And these days less so. Where do I want to take this? Do I want to take... I'm going to put yellow on here. I kind of want to be a colder yellow. I want it to be a mustardy, darker yellow than really massively strong. I don't think that we want to go... Let's go there. Let's go straight for a mustard yellow, and then we can just brighten it, can't we? That is the plan. Cool. This is... Use this in a while. Yeah. Let's have a look, see. Let's see what we can do. Are things just in a weird spot? Is it because CB haven't updated things yet? Are we going to get another law book or campaign that leads into some factions stepping up into spotlight? So I think things are in a point of flux with Corvus Belli currently. There's a lot of changes going on. That's you know, apparent for all to see. We've got this new narrative campaign that's going on at the moment, this small scale one, which is kind of cool. I think that's really a nice innovation, a nice change for things, and a good sign, because it's more narrative focused, which is, I think, something that Infinity definitely needs at the moment, is more focus on the narrative side of things. I don't know what they're going to do. I imagine we're going to get lore books. I imagine that's the thing that's going to happen. We know that lore is important to them because they're about to update a website. Is it Human Sphere? I think they're doing on where they're going to have all the lore on, so that's really good. Lore is clearly important, and they realise they need to communicate that better. This is good news. But what shape we're going to see, I don't know. We've not really had a roadmap. We've not really had indication. Historically, we used to get massive books, and those books would come with, you know, certain bits of lore and certain bits of gameplay stuff, and that was how it worked. But that sort of ended now because they've shifted away from the physical rulebook to the digital. So I guess we're getting lore books, but I don't know, is the honest answer. I'm kind of waiting and seeing. But they're certainly in an odd spot from where I'm sat currently. But yeah, I'm not concerned in any way, shape or form. Hack got the 2 beautiful flyers. I think it'll be fine. I need to wait. And yeah, they did get some stunning flyers. Those were absolutely beautiful. But that's not what they needed, because we were in a point where a lot of factions have been upgraded for N5. You know, we're in the middle of seeing it with OSS at the moment. They're getting new toys and new ways to play and all this kind of stuff. And Hack have had a couple of bumps, but nothing that they really needed. The flyers helped, but I think the core of Hack needs a rework. I think it's not quite right as it stands. I don't know, it could be just around the corner, but I don't think so. I think what we're getting next is US Ariadne, because we've been told that's this year. Excuse me, maybe they changed their mind, maybe they don't. I don't know. We shall all find out together. It will be very exciting. If they don't, then Mike's going to lose his cool completely. I don't want to get involved in that. But yeah, I think they deserve some love. They deserve a bit of a rework and a bit of a refocus as a faction. The Haction faction. But when they'll get it, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, the problem is there are some units inside of Hack that are absolute filth. And then a whole load of units inside the faction that are just a whole bag of alright, fine. You know, they don't stand up point for point versus Kestrel or Wildu versus OSS and stuff like that. So I think CB needs to do something, but whether they will or when they will, I couldn't tell you, man. That is the case. So I'm so glad I chose to paint this tonight. You know when you're painting something, you're like, I'm just having fun with this. This is just nice. This is just nice. I had a wild moment where I was like, what I'll do is when the ships are done, I'll put pictures up on Discord and I'll get my members to name it. And I was like, that is just dumb. Just go to your Discord, look at the names of the people there, and then ask yourself, who would you trust to name anything? So that idea went out the window. So, other exciting news that we have coming up, because I like to tease it out during the entire stream, just so you have to stay here. You never know when it's going to come, what's going to happen, or when, or how. But, I'm waiting for confirmation of when, but we should, Eldfall fans, be getting a extra copy of Sunspear to give away on the channel. It's the brand new Helion League Reinforcements Pack. We're getting an extra one to give away to you lovely human beings. So if you are already a Helion player, or you are looking to get into Eldfall, and you really want to go Elves, aka Rin, inside of the Eldfall universe, then that set is definitely a reasonable place to start. So that's going to be coming soon. I haven't decided how I'm going to give it away yet. I'm not giving it away to people called Kaz before anyone else. No, Evie, that's not. Helion League are like the most together organised side of the Rin in the Eldfall universe. Eldfall is fantasy infinity, very much so. That's selling it massively short, but it's the easiest way to get your head around it. So if you like your fantasy and you like your infinity, it's kind of a no-brainer, to be honest with you. Best time to paint? Yes, it is. When it's frickin' fun. It's just like I say, I've been painting so much stuff recently that you need to put that massive amount of detail and time and energy and focus into, and this just isn't that. It's nice. It's just nice to, like, I think this yellow needs to come up. This is a good core. It's a good base for it. Get a nice poppy yellow on there. In my defence, if I want an Eldfall box, I would respectfully return it and let you get it to someone who would really want it. Kaz, you need it. You know you need it. Because it's the thing that has to happen. At some point, it's going to happen. One day, and for the rest of your life, you'll be an Eldfall player. And that's... No, that's not. No. Eevee, the CB one is called Warcrow. And Warcrow is not anything like Infinity. It is not the same thing at all. It's a different beast entirely. So it's Eldfall is from Free Company, who are out of Slovenia. Lovely bunch of people. Small company, great ideas, beautiful miniatures, lovely system, a lot of fun. So when you're ready to spend your wargaming hobby beyond Widfinity. We shall talk, young Evie, we shall talk. Very exciting. I have the big book, let me get it and see who is on the map. Hang on. Maybe they'll do stuff with Shinju. I have the big book, looks like they have a lot of factions present, including Hexalarm. Yeah. Excuse me. They absolutely will. It will come on. It's just a matter of time and in what capacity and how much. Everybody is on Shinju. Everybody has a presence, but they're not a focus and they're not a main player. So, yeah, we'll see. We will see. The N5 not rulebook. I'm not. I don't have the mental capacity to be obsessed with more than one game. Yes, you do. The fact you can put that statement out there tells me you do. Because people who don't have the capacity just sound a little bit like, no, that's not one of the options. Whereas, doth she protest too much? I think so. I think so. And that's the thing, Evie. You owe it to yourself to be happy. You do. You do. Just like Kaz. Colo will join us. It will happen. Bullying is definitely a thing. I mean, oh no, I nearly said the I word then. I nearly said influencing. That's just bad. No! We shall not influence on this channel. One game is just testing the waters before plunging in. Happily. At most, I will look up the game, look up the factions, and tell you which one has my preferred aesthetic. You absolutely should do that. And if it's not so good, we can never speak again. So, you know, no pressure. I'm betting Thenian. Eldfall Chronicles. Look it up. I'm betting that you will like Thenian. Murderin for the win. I think I need another couple of like spots on this. I like the panels on these UCM ships. They just lend themselves to this sort of random smattering of colour, and it's something about it that just pleases me. So when I was getting back in, I was like, oh, I won't get UCM this time. I'll just stick to PHR. And I was like, well, I suppose I do need some demo sets. That's the thing. That's definitely a thing that we need to do. And then I realised that was just because I looked at the UCM strips and thought, ooh, multicoloured panels. Nice. And they are multicoloured, and they are nice. Pano, JSA, Nomads, Yuching, Combined, Hack, O12, and Ariadne. I think that's all the icons. Yeah, I think they're all on the map from memory. I think they're all there. No one really gets left behind apart from Taha. We said Tara to Taha. Toha. But that kind of happened in N4, so it's not really news. And I was glad to see them go. No one needs artichokes in their world. No one of any sanity, anyway, needs artichokes in their world. Lovely people sort the earth, but yeah, no thank you. Do not forget, if you're not already, to subscribe as well, dudes, because it's nice, and hit the like as well, the little heart button, and validate my existence as a human being. Let me know that you care. Let me know you're enjoying. Yes, it is, Evie. Hmm. I should get a second colour now. I used to do yellow and white, I think. Sort of light, very light grey. I think that would possibly look cool on here as well. So I realise you're only just on camera. Let's just resolve that a little bit. Digging the husky, sexy voice tonight as well. It's definitely time for that ASMR session. Grr. What's that? Night Temple Priestess, the Expeditionary Hero fans? Yeah. Night Temple Priestess, you say. There's Thenian. Murderin. Gotta love him. Check out the Nightshade. She is an absolute baddie. Both in game terms and in looks. Let's stick a couple of white panels on here. I think that would be interesting. Let's get this yellow one here done in. Nightshade is also cool, but not as cute as those I just named. Yeah, fair enough. Cleaned up 6 kitbash ships, now to glue them together at some point. Nice. My problem is that I want to buy and collect all the minis. I have no idea if it's a good idea to play a faction, but I always go, maybe I could paint those. Oh no, another pile of minis to paint. The struggle is real, my dude. Franco, the struggle is real. But I think there is a joy in just collecting stuff. I try to limit myself with it. It's ultimate in late stage capitalism, isn't it? Just buying stuff for the sake of. But there is a joy in just owning stuff. You don't always have to do it to, win a tournament or whatever. So, yeah. There is certain stuff that I own for the sake of. I have a CD collection in the attic and some DVDs in the attic, and I think I can play DVDs, but I definitely can't play CDs. Just don't have the hardware to do that anymore, but owning them makes me happy. So there they stay. Their mere existence is a joy. So, yeah. The only reason I don't get involved in that too much these days is because I have to be realistic about the amount of space that I'm going to invest in my hobby. Because my wife, I love her to bits, is like, yeah, go for it. You know, you want to get into that game, you get into that game. Just don't fill our house with all of it. Just be realistic. And you only have so many hours in the day. She is a wise woman in all things apart from her taste in men. So, not 100% perfect, but 99, 100% perfect for me. So I ended up with 4 Infinity factions. Only 4? Those are rookie numbers. There's everyone after looking at the page. I have 4 factions this game alone. Because the minis call to me like a siren, even if I haven't built or painted them. Yeah, it's a problem. I tried to keep a little bit of a lid on it. Like I had, at one point, I had like 2.5 factions for Warcry, and I've just cut it back to 1. I don't need more than 1 faction for Warcry. I have 4, 5 factions for Eldfall, but it's one of my main systems at the moment, so that's fine. At the moment for Infinity, I have 5, I think. That will be 6 when US Ariadne comes out, so that Mike's happy. We'll be getting US Ariadne and doing great things with that. So I have plans there. But I'm trying to cut it down. At one point I had 9 factions. That was kind of excessive for Infinity. I got to 9, I was like, this is stupid. So I kind of now have a policy that if I haven't played an army competitively for 18 months, I sell it. Or if it doesn't make me happy. Which does mean, unfortunately, that my Invincible army is going to get sold off because I'm only using it for demos. And it's a lot of money to have tied up as a demo kit. Because I've got, I don't know, 600-700 points, I think. Maybe more. In fact, more like 800-900 points, I think, of Invincible army. But I don't really like playing it. So there's no point in holding on to it. I can build a demo kit out of Corregidor and use that. So yeah, I think Invincible Army is going to go. My Shinden may go at some point as well because I don't really like playing them that much. They're just not. The style doesn't gel with me that well. And when you know that, I've played them enough to know that I'm like, yeah, I get this. Yeah, I can make this work. But it's not how I want to play. Like when I play Shock Army, that is me happy. That's my happy place for Infinity. And I'm not the same with Shinden. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Even playing Corregidor, I'm like, yep, this is fun. This is enjoyable. I'm sorry, did you think that was all of my airborne deployed troopers? No, let me get the other ones. That's always fun. But like, I don't have that with Shinden. They're cool, and it's interesting, but they're not fun. They're not my style, so I think they will be going to a new home at some point soon. Along with my Invincible army. Cut me back to 3 armies. No, I've got 5 at the moment, so it cut me back to 3. And then Eurus Ariadne come in, so that'll put me back up to 4. Jesus. Anyway. It's looking alright now. What do you think? 800 points. Yeah, that's nothing. That is nothing. At one point, I have had 1,500 points of an army before. That was a bit much. 5 as in 5 armies I could field 300 points for. 5 as in 5 armies that I could field 500 or 600 points for. Minimum. So, yeah. Ash catch them all. Yeah, in gear, you're completely right. They're not Pokemon. It feels like it. Sometimes I buy the stuff and I work on because I prefer to do that than, say, Spiral. Seems to help me mentally. No, fair play. If it is good for you mentally, then do the thing. As long as it's not hurting anyone else and you've got it under control, do the thing. Now brighten this yellow up. I'm going to make this pop. I think that is the direction we're going, kids. I think this needs to go boom. Because in space, no one can see you be all shiny. Sorry, what Shock Army, Corregidor, Shinden, Invincible Army? So, Shinden Butai is a sectorial. You happy with the term sectorial, Evie? Of Japanese Secessionist Army of JSA. Yeah, you are. Cool. So Shinden Butai is a sectorial of JSA. So that's them. Invincible Army is a sectorial of Yuqing. So that's them. Shock Army of Acontecimento is a sectorial of Pan-Oceania, also known as Vietnam in Space, because that's what they are. Who else? Corregidor or Corgis are a sectorial of Nomads. They are 1/2 of Mazebreaker. So the Nomad part of Mazebreaker is Corregidor. And they are your kind of space workers. If you know your Expanse, they are your belters. Very much so. Belter loader in 3, 2. US Ariadne might be cool just because they can be my low-tech army. If they sort them out, yes, they can. Franco. Yes, they can. But they were always a bit of a mess. And I hope they won't be this time. I hope they will get them right this time. But we will see. Oh, I missed a bit. I missed a little stocky just there. Just a little bit. Just on the end. Wet blend this a bit out actually. Make that look a little bit softer. That's better. That's kind of cool. I think that's kind of working. You know what we have got over here? That's not it. Way too many shades of freaking yellow is what we got over here. Where's the apart from the one that I want? I don't have the one that I want. Gotta move. Gotta get the one that I want. Is that you? Yes. There are certain. I don't know if you guys have it. I have like certain colours that are essential. Like Central Graphene Grey from Scale 75 is one of them, and Ice Yellow from Model Colour as well. Makes an appearance way too often, but it's nice. I like the effect, so you know. And speaking about concretes, I learned today that Surface Division doesn't have access to gators, which I thought looked pretty sick. Evie, if you want a gator, you can have mine. You can buy that one off me, because I don't like running gators. They don't make me happy. Too, yeah. I've actually got to sell mine. I'm not a fan of it. I've never run it. It's only part painted. I don't like the new iguana models. No, they're not nice. The geckos are pretty far though. Yes, they are. They are epic. I own 3 geckos and an old school iguana, and they are legendary. But I'm not a fan of the gator. In fact, the gator is currently set up to my left because. Like, shall I finish painting it and then sell the damn thing, or shall I just sell it as it is? I can't decide which I'm doing. It's part painted at the moment. But it does need a new home. That's nice. Spaceships should only go boom when they are the enemy. True. I don't know what armies gel with me yet. You'll find it. I might be screwed until I find out. Right now, it's all about painting minis. I buy each box once, and that's it. That's one of my rules. Fair enough. Sounds like a way forward, Franco. Apparently, the iguana used to be ranked quite poorly just a while back, but I think it got a rework some time ago. It got reworked when they brought out the new miniature, and it helped it a lot. But I always valued it. It's always good fun. It's a fun unit to run. Always has been. 4-wound tag is always fun. So you'll hear nothing but love for the Iggy here, because it's awesome and has always been such. But the new miniature is a bit meh. It got a substantial boost in so many ways. It was one of those things where you're like, yay, but not that miniature. So very much so. No, it didn't structure. No, it didn't double its structure. That's not true. So what? It is a change from N4 to N5. So it doesn't matter. It's always had 4 structure. It's just not. Yeah, it used to be expressed differently, but it's always been 4, which has always been the great thing about it, because it was always the only 4-wound tag in the game. So yeah, bless him. Should have left the miniature alone, just given us the new profile. You know, it's like the new Yotum came out. It's like, yeah, it's a Yotum. I can see it's the Yotum. And then they brought that thing out, and it was like, what the hell is this? It looks like the Russian Jaeger from Pacific Rim, which I watched last night, and while watching it, I was like, that looks exactly like the new iguana. Not politely. So, you know, one of them there things. Right. Things can't stay the same forever. It's good that they're redesigning and like redeveloping and keeping things fresh and blah 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 blah. It's just, I think there were things that could have done with it before that, but you know, excuse me. You got one wound moved from the operators to the tag side. Hang on, where's me? Oh, me things else. My phone's elsewhere. Just give me a second. Because I always ran it quite a lot. So what have they done? What have you done to my pretty boy? Iggy. Full structure. When does it transmutate? Transmutation -3. Yes, it's got an extra one on the tag. And so it's now effectively a 5 wound tag. Which is disgusting. It's got even worse. Yeah, they've buffed it. The AP on the heavy machine gun is new. The mine dispenser is new. +1 burst of flamethrower is new. ECM hacker -3 is new. It's always had the repeater because that was just hilarious. Tackaware is new. So, yeah, it got buffed up. Also quite like the old Naga model. The one from MB is nice too, but I think the old one with the sniper rifle and the pink hair is so cool. Yeah, with you. Agree on that one. Excuse me. What do I think? What do I think is outdated and hack? Bum. Let's have a look. What would I change up? The Gulam are fine. They've always been fine. They're a middle of the road unit. They're fine. Yeah, the problem is everything's middle of the road. I think Hafsas are fine, but they've got the sneakiness. That's fine. The Barrads are okay. I mean, a Whip 14 BTS hacker is good. They've got pictures all over the place. They did have an upgrade with Assassin, actually. As did the Zeke. Yeah, it's... I don't know. I need to spend more time on that one, but I just think they're a bit... They're a bit fine. They're fine. And that's the problem. They don't have anything. In a world of Hatamotos, they're fine. And it shows. There are certain units inside of here that are absolute filth. What was it? It's in Murama, isn't it? 'Cause that's where I've been surgically dealing with it. Namur, is that the one? Yes, that's a stupid thing. The Namur experimental operative. There are some gold units in there, but there aren't enough, and they're a bit expensive. So, like the Namur, if you ever face this absolute stupidity, 6-2 move, BS 13, Fist 12, Whip 14, 2 arms, 6 BTS, 2 Vita, X visor, +1 burst. Now it's armed with a Spitfire or a breaker rifle. So that's a burst 5 Spitfire for those keeping count. +1 burst on the CC, climbing plus, courage, dodge +3, dodge +1 inch. So dodging on 15s for those keeping score. Immune to anything enhanced, especially updrift terrain total. Emirat heavy pistol, breaker or tack-aware with breaker rifle, light shotgun, and Emirat with D charges. It's just that BS 13 with X visor and BS attack +1 on a Spitfire. It's just Namura goes BERT and things die. The problem is it's 44 points. Excuse me. But 2 Vita, it's a medium infantry, so it can't be hacked either, which is just stupid. Stupid. LF versus Nomads when? Now. Mazebreaker, Mr. Rogers. It's already been announced. Do pay attention, Bond. They're on pre-order now. They're on pre-order now, my friends. You can get them from your local game store at a reasonable price. Well, at a price. It's certainly not your soul, because you have one, so. How are you, bud? How does it feel to be 90? It was Mr. Rogers' birthday the other day. He's now old. Not me old, but old. Pre-order. Yes, head explodes. I know, right? So exciting. The world is just a constant source of happiness, joy, and enlightenment. Go with me, people. Ignore the news. Think about miniatures. Don't think about anything else. Not too bad today. Good to hear it, man. Don't pre-orders open on the 20th. I don't know. I already have Mazebreaker. We've already done the Mazebreaker thing. That's old news. It's done. So over it. That's not true. I got so many videos to do on that. Need to do the review of each faction in the box. Thoughts. What it means for the factions going forward. We can talk about that. How to start the game as a newbie using Mazebreaker. There's a lot to be done. There's much to discuss. There is much to discuss. But yeah. Interesting times, peeps. Interesting times. I think my UCM flagship's coming together, though. I think it's looking all right. What do you guys think? How's it look from through the camera? How's it looking? We impressed? Excited? Vaguely aroused? Where are we at? It's definitely nice to have a palette cleanser, though. Let's get some bit of spaceship done. I think I'm going to put some white patches on this. We are going to do that. I think that'll look good. I'll say this doesn't look good. I think this looks fine, but we have Mazebreaker at home. Yes, we do. Reasonable is subjective. Blizzard badge, you're quite right. I didn't tell anyone in club, so that was fun. Mini. Ramen, rice, beans. What? Mushroom? Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, the previous starts on the 29th. I was worried there for a moment. I like to spread a little bit of chaos, Cal. I enjoy it. If you don't leave here feeling slightly nervous, a little bit, you know, baby, I will make your heart beat faster. Definitely one of those things. Life skill. Just checking your respiratory health. Free of charge. So selfish. The yellow is definitely a lot brighter than the blue, which is looking duller in comparison. Spaceship! Thank you, darling, there. Me too. Yeah, I kind of like that. I kind of want that grey-blue to look a little bit dull and then have the yellow as like fleet markings. So it's a little bit brighter. It's a little bit more poof. A little bit more potent. I like the juxtaposition. I like the contrast. It makes me happy. UCM. It is indeed. Yeah. Don't say that, Mr. Rogers. Don't say that. I have in the other room, currently waiting to be built. Well over. Well, I think we're about 2,000 points of PHR, maybe 2.5. I've not sat down and worked it out, because if I do, then I have to question my life choices. I'm just not ready to do that right now. This just isn't the time for it. So we have a lot of PHR. We have a lot of PHR. But I'm starting by putting together a demo kit. So it's going to be the UCM, the classic UCM versus the new Biophysis, because there's a 2-player starter set now that has those guys in it. So I've got those going, get them all painted up, get them on the tabletop, get people playing, and then I can just work on bringing out my Angels of Death in the form of my PHR. They have their colour scheme sorted. It's going to be epic. But first, got to get some opponents up and playing. Get me involved. It's important. I love grey plus bright colours. Me too, in gear. PHR, Post-Human Republic, I'm on News Daily, is the way forward. French Humanistic Republic. One day, just through pure random luck, you will guess it, Mr. Rogers. Dropfleet indeed, Delanair. I imagine it'd look very funny having a Borg cube in your spaceship environment game. Yes, yes, it would. Good evening, how goes it? Very well, thank you very much, my friend. How are you? Are you well? I did pre-order Mazebreaker. Me and a friend are splitting it. He likes LF. He's got the action pack. It just got replaced by Mazebreaker. Well, I don't know. It got replaced. It kind of got sidebarred, upgraded in some areas, sidebarred in others. This was one where you had an amount of signature depending on what you did. Yes, absolutely. They have a certain amount of signature based on your size, and then you have additional points based on what you do. So if you unleash hell and broadside everything, then you have more. You're more visible, basically. Which is kind of fun. You have to make decisions, because those decisions will have consequences. It's very funny. It takes a minute to get used to the fact that your weapons don't have range. Your sensors do. So how far you can see and be seen defines how the sort of range of your weapons in the game, which is it's a nice mechanic. Dave did well with that. It keeps it interesting. Scan, signature, and spike. Yes, that's exactly it. That sounds familiar. Blame Hydra, of course. I much prefer to do drop zone, less based on one critical dice roll for objective. This has just gone to version 2, Mr. Rogers, and with it, much improvement. So this system is much improved. And drop zone is about to go to version 3, so we shall see how my tolerance to resist that goes when the time comes. But right now I'm just sticking with fleet, because I just want a fleet game. I want a space game, but like there's nothing out there that really was tickling my pickle. And I was waiting for this to settle down so I could go back into it again. And here it has, and so here I am. Happy little face, smiling in the explosions in low orbit. Just the way nature intended it to be. Bodies ejected into the cold vacuum of space. Well, not technically cold, because it can't be cold, because there's no... Anyway, you get the idea. How is Dropfleet? It's something I've gotten to. It's a fun game with just the right amount of tactical depth, just the right amount of crunch. It's a nice counterpart to if you have a crunchy system like Infinity in your life and you want something else that you can just go spaceship and then shoot each other while still having like tactical decisions and all that kind of thing. If you want to make spaceships, if you want to do that kind of thing, then this system is perfect. It is just light enough and just crunchy enough, if you get what I mean. It's that nice balance. Not too complicated, not too difficult. As we said earlier, 23 pages the main rulebook is, and it's not A4. 23 pages. That's all you need to learn. And you are playing this game. So, and I've done this in 2 hours and 29 minutes, so I'm a little bit over time tonight. But I put this guy together from black undercoat to where he is now in a couple of hours. With lots of chatting. And I'm kind of making it up as I'm going along, so... Although this is, I don't know if Mr. Rogers remembers, this is a rework of my original scheme for the version 1 fleet, so... Just a little bit more fancy, just a little bit more edge on it. Which is nice. It's coming together. It's coming together, it's pretty. No, with the vacuum, the lack of pressure drops the boiling point of your body water to almost nothing anyway. True, true. Spaceships do indeed go pew pew. Spaceships is nice. Alternating activation, that's it. I can't remember colours. Colours are overrated. Yeah, the older SS had a few cute models I don't think you can get from other packs, like the aforementioned Naga. True, true. That's absolutely correct, TV. Last one I played was Star Wars Armada, which wasn't bad, but I do feel like a good space game is missing from my life. This is a good space game. In my opinion, not ridiculously priced either. A large fleet will set you back just over 100 quid UK money. 120 in European money, which I don't think is unreasonable. And loads of ways to put it together, and you know, the size and scale of ships they've gone to now is quite bonkers as well. Like dreadnoughts are massive, so you can take it any way you want to on this. And there is apparently quite a growing competitive scene as well. So if you're somebody who's like, I want to take my spaceships and see how good I am, you can do that. That's an option you will in fact have. So, and they seem to only just be getting started, because we've just had a whole new set of like releases announced, and those are all happening at the moment with battle cruisers and stuff. So yeah, there's plenty of stuff going on with this. The system's very lively at the moment, so good time to get involved. Hence the reason I'm sticking my nose in. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting it back on the table, actually. It's going to be very good. It's going to be a lot of fun. But, yeah, it's shaping up nicely. Do we think it needs some white bits? I'm thinking, I kind of want to put some white patches on there as well, just to scale it up a bit. Or do we think that would be a bit much? What do you think, guys? A bit of white on there? Or very, very light grey, I should say. Any idea how the 2-player starter set holds up? For this, very good. Last I looked, it wasn't easy to get hold of. There were too many FOGSs that seemed to stock it. Yeah, well, it went through. It's just gone to version 2 down there, so they're re-releasing a whole load of stuff now, but it seems to be widely available. This is actually, this is one of the chips from the 2-player starter set. It's good from what I can see. It's nicely balanced. It's got a lot of flavour into it, and not badly priced. The only downside, there's going to be a review on the channel soon of it, but as I've said this evening here, the only downside that I see is some of the cardboard tokens are pretty thin, and I'd have preferred it if they were a bit thicker. That is the only downside, the only issue that I have with it. But I'm going to be upgrading them at some point anyway. But just to start out, it's not that, they're not that great. Excuse me. So like these are all the UCM vessels that you get inside the starter set. So it's a fairly substantial set of miniatures to get yourself going with. And I think there's actually even more with the biofighters because they're a bit more squishy. So you have plenty to be starting with, and these can be built in various different ways depending on what you want them to do. This is inside the box. There is this sheet that has a suggested like what you should take. So 2 times these, 2 times these, and that's what I've built to, because that's make it nice and easy, and I can just use that to get the game started. So it self-balances, so yeah, it's good. Do you need to buy much extra? How many points is a normal game? So a normal game is 1,000 points. So from what I understand, 2-3 times this, well, twice this, I guess, maybe a bit more. So, Franco, take care. Good to see you. Take care, buddy. Some markings in white would go a long way. Some stripes or triangles, something like that. Well, I was just going to do different sections on this. Do you want to see, down there, do you want me to, so you get about 50%, that's not awful for a starter, 50-ish%, yeah. Should I show you the battle fleet? Because I've got a battle fleet for PHR, which I think is around 1,500 points, which is the upper side of like tournament play. Do you want to have a look at that down there? Because I've got one in the other room. I can show you that and we can just draw. I'm going to do that. Because the joy of a wireless mic is I can walk all the way over here and you're still with me. And hopefully you're still with me now. You should be. But there's stuff in the way of me boxes. Oh, that's not the one. You still got me? Am I still in the room? I should be. Please do. Right. So, oof. I'm going to switch temporarily. The biotids do look weird. The resistance do look Yankee. Right, we're going to go to not see chat for a moment. So this is the PHR battle fleet. These are about £100, but this is about 1,500 points. So these are fleet assets that you can launch, so fighters and torpedoes and stuff that you can launch out of various ships. That's a battleship, which is quite substantial in size and scale. And then you've got some cruisers and some like destroyers and such. But they are, you can choose how they go together. But that is about 1,500 points, which all of this is in here. A lot of stuff. So you can start off, I would say start off with the starter set and play that and then go off and buy more stuff. But like, so this is the battleship because I needed to. Let's not go into it, okay? Just move on. But with all these, you have different variants that you can build. So there's more than that you can build in here. I think there's about 6 or 8 you can build. So when you get these sprues out, they are absolutely rammed. Should we have a look? Should we do some sprues? Let's do some sprues. There you go. That is the battleship sprue. You get an idea of scale. Hang on a sec. Let's just pop this out. So this battleship... Come on, out you come. Oh, she's pretty. Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, pretty. No one's going to like you, but I'm going to love you. And that's important. So for scale comparison, this part here, this goes on, this bit here, goes onto there and goes backwards. So this is probably about 2/3 of the size of the total thing. This is what we've been painting this evening. It's quite big. It's quite a big thing, I have to say. So that's like the battleship, and you get all the different options of stuff. So different guns to go on the front here, here, these are torpedoes that it can launch. Then you have the different, whether you have guns on the side, whether you have craft that you can launch, so spaceships and stuff like that. These sprues are absolutely packed, and what you put it together with defines the model. And that's true of all the cruisers, that's true of all the light ships and the rest of it. So you have a wealth of opportunity. But I'd say if you're going to start off with a 2-player starter set and then learn the game. And yeah, plastic glue should do the job. They sell full on army boxes too. They do indeed, on that. They do indeed. Though a lot of them are being released at the moment, so they're not great with stock, but yeah. I can't get 8 hours of sleep anymore, but I'm going to take what I can. Good night, Mr. Paintman. Good night, Evie. Always a pleasure. You take care of yourself and message me and we'll talk about those bases. Of course. Sweet baby Borg. Jesus, that's freaking huge. That, Mr. Rogers, is not the largest. That is not the largest. You've actually been doing an unboxing build video through all the factions. Are you just showing off now, aren't you, blissful badger? All right, sheesh. About 100 quid is 1,500 points, yeah, ish. Quite my spirit, Simpson, Mr. Burns. Almost sexual, isn't it, Smithers? Absolutely. PHS does well with 2 battleships. Yes, it does. That's a lot of minis on the table. How big are the tables? 4x4 as standard, although larger scale is up to 6x4. So, yeah, 4x4 down there. It is freaking huge, but we have dreadnoughts as well, which are even huger. So, yeah, these are just little cruisers. That was a battleship. In between these, you have the battle cruisers as well, which is sort of halfway betwixt, and then you have dreadnoughts on top, which are just massive, just like, dear Lord. It does indeed, Blissful Badger, and I shall be joining you. Well, I'm joining you. I'm joining you soon. I'm joining you already. I mean, we're getting miniatures painted. I don't think that'll look awful on the table. Let's move these dudes out of the way a little bit. Problem is, next to me, there's now an open box of PHR. I'm like, oh, so build the PHR. Don't build the PHR. Build the PHR. They are my main faction. They have always been my main faction. Because genius. Love them greatly. So yeah, I think if I stick some light grey spots on this, I'm going to stick a couple of those, and then I'm going to go because it's late. I have a lot to do tomorrow. It isn't just... Where's my light colours gone again? It's a medium C. We're going to use a medium C and a white grey, I think. Get that up to... Oh, that's just fallen over. Didn't like that one anyway. Never liked that paint. Screw that one particular paint. Come on. Don't be nearly out. Love it. I think I have some more of this somewhere. We shall see. Right. I'm going to get some whites. Some lighter greys on this. Not some whites, but some lighter greys. Then I too shall make a run for the hills. Because it is late. I can't stay around here talking to you lot all night, honestly. I'm a respectable member of society. Just can't hang around with you lot. God, jeez. Honestly, I'm super tempted. You should get yourself a creator code at this rate. Who knows? I've been in contact with TT about doing stuff for them before, but they've never really done anything, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Who knows? I do it for the love of the system. I think it's a really good system. And I need to do more things that just spark joy, that just make me happy. And these little spaceships make me happy. They have done from Mark 1, and they very much are today. So I do not remember the last time that I painted a miniature and I had so much fun with it, you know. I just enjoyed it. I've just enjoyed painting this tonight. This has just been fun. I put together and like, well, what should I do? I'll try this. Put this over here. Like, it's just nice. And I that's what the hobby's supposed to be. Sometimes with running a YouTube channel, running a community, I can forget, I can lose sight of the fact that my hobby is supposed to be enjoyable. I can get a little bit caught up in it all. So it's nice to do things like this and be forcibly reminded by the game or by the system that actually this is your hobby. You are supposed to be having fun. How about you do that for a little bit? How about you just have some fun for a little bit? It's nice. Plus, if I'm playing catch up with my good friend Blissful Badger, is out there leading the charge for the masses, you know? It's always a good thing too. Don't forget to check out Blissful Badger's channel. The legend is. You out? Take care, Mr. Rogers. Sleep well, buddy. Look at the minis now on the website. Resistance is amazing. So many colours. Yeah, it's very much Mad Max in space. XS is very much Mad Max in space. which is just funky. Enjoying the hobby is pure bliss. Now back to batch painting some more objectives. I've done all my objectives. My objectives are done. They are completed. I am objectived out. They just need to be slapped on in some boxes to be slapped on some tables on Saturday. Happiness is me. What should we do? Let's do this. No, it's a bit close. Let's just take this little one here, actually. Little triangle just there. Goodness. This is the other bit that I enjoy, because you can just tinker with it for ages and be like, oh, I'm going to do this bit. I'm going to take this a different colour. I'm not going to tinker with it forever because I need to get these painted. Because they need to go on the table. Couple of weeks' time, these need to all be ready for a demo. So I've got a lot of work to do. Kind of digging that. I don't know, maybe... Do you know what I'm going to do? That would make me happy. Does it use terrain like asteroids and space stations or other things, just open space? Yeah, it does. So down there, you're basically fighting for control over territory, so cities and stuff on the ground. But you also get, because this is an orbital combat game, this is not like free space combat, but they have modular space stations that you can build in a variety of different ways to suit your tastes, and you have cities and stuff like that. So it's a really funky system, actually, that side of things. Don't goof it up now. Right at the edge of this little space. Don't make a mess. That's it. Alright, so we hit this bit with light grey, turn those up, and I think these are there. I think this guy's going to be there. I'm going to call him, when these greys are up to like a white grey, I'm going to call that done. I think anything else will just get a bit fussy, and I kind of... The thing is, when you're doing a demo set, I think you want it should look nice, it should look really good, but also, it's my experience, they're going to get bounced around, they're going to get mishandled, they're going to get dropped, they're going to do a lot of like sessions, and if you're too precious with it, then when that does happen, it's really, really upsetting. Whereas if it's like, I did a good enough job on it, then it's kind of like, that's okay, I'll fix it. It's not a problem. Don't worry about it. Move on. Move on with your day. Because you've got to be realistic. People, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're unreasonable, and they're doing a thing at the moment as well down there where you can get, for €6 a month, you get a couple of STLs per month that you can like print out, and this month it was a couple of ships and stuff like that. So there are yeah, lots of options for getting involved in this, and they're not ridiculously expensive by any stretch of the imagination. It's a fun system, not ridiculously expensive, which is important, I think, if it's going to be, you know, not every system can command X thousand euros to get you off the ground. I think the starter box is a reasonable price, and it gives you like the tokens and bits and pieces you need to get going. That's not. Why are you not flowing well? You're flowing really badly. This paint's just not working right. Let's try that again. There we go. So not everything can be ridiculously expensive, because you're not made of money, and I think the price point of this is kind of fine. It's not too high. I think the quality's there. So yeah, it's a good balance. It's in a good sort of place. For me anyway, but your mileage may vary. But I'm happy. Yeah, we don't know specifically what it's going to be, but they're saying that it's going to be stuff like the STLs that they provide will be, you know, ships and assets and stuff. So I guess we're going to have space stations and things at a certain point. That's what made me think about it. But I don't know. We shall have to see. If you don't have any way to print them, then the following month you can buy them pre-printed from their web store. But like, or it might even be at the same time. But they're not cheap if you buy them printed. So a friend of mine is printing some off for me, which I shall look forward to getting and showing off on the channel. Should get those this weekend actually. Yeah, I think that white's going to help. That white grey is going to help. That looks alright, doesn't it? What do you think? I like that. I think that's nice. I think that works. My goodness. Let's hope my voice recovers for this weekend. It's going to be rubbish TOing with no real voice. You've got people like XX coming, you need to scream at them to keep them in line. And if I can't scream at them, then all hell could break loose. And then where would we be? People of the Dutch countryside will not be safe in their beds from all these roving Infinity players from across the globe. Yeah, it should be good. This paint isn't going nicely tonight. Two medium coats it is then. Right, do you know what? I'm going to head off and finish this later, I think. But yeah, what do we think? Are we liking it? Are we liking that? I think it's looking nice. Little gunboat to ruin people's days. And get it on its base properly later. We'll paint these bases up as well. These are actually STLs as well, down in there, that you can get. Nice little profile coming towards you, ready to cause mischief. Anyway, guys and girls, I'll behave. I'm not bringing anything nasty, just social. I know, XS, I'm well aware. Thank you so very much for spending your time with me. It's been a genuine pleasure as ever. We've got an interesting video dropping on Friday. I'm going to try and drop another one beforehand, but with the satellite on Saturday, it's kind of my focus. So, you all take care of yourself. Have a brilliant week. Be kind to yourself. Make sure you get some time for your hobby and some time to relax and breathe, because that's important. But yeah, I will speak to you all again soon. You take care, and thanks for joining me, and bye-bye.